Kind woman, I give you my all. Kind woman, nothing more. Little drops of rain, whispers of the pain, tears of love lost in the days gone by. My love is strong, with you there is no wrong. Together we shall go until we die. Oh my mind, inspiration's what you are to me. Inspiration, look, see. So today my world, it smiles. Hand in mind we walk the miles. Thanks to you it will be done. You to me are the only one, yeah. Mama, yes, happiness, no more be sad. Happiness, sunblind. If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. When mountains crumble to the sea.
Step out the front door like a ghost into the fog where no one notices the contrast of white on white. And in between the moon and you, the angels get a better view of the crumbling difference between wrong and right. Well, I walked in the air, through the rain, between myself and back again. Where I don't know. She says she's dying. It's the door, I hear her crying. Why? I don't know. Round here, you always stand up straight. With the suitcase in her hand, she said she'd like to meet a boy who looks like Elvis. She walks along the edge of where the ocean meets the land. She's like she's walking on a wire in the circus. She parks her car outside of my house and takes her clothes off. Says she's close to understanding Jesus. She knows she's more than just a little misunderstood. She has trouble acting normal when she's nervous around here, carving out our names. Around here, we all look the same.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
As I always say, it's a perfect start to the show when it doesn't perfectly time out and we get a rock star cover or song right before we get started. What was that one?
That was Round Here from August and Everything After by Counting Crows, track number 1.
Yeah, fantastic version from you there.
Great
Have
song.
you seen them in concert?
I've seen them probably 6 or 7 times.
Are they
Twice for me.
You have?
Yep.
Kelsey, our coworker here, says she has seen them multiple times and they are not very good in concert.
They were great the first 2 times. The last 2 times I think I've seen them, they have been a little rough around the edges.
Have you ever seen Skinny Adam or just Fat Adam?
Skinny Adam, I saw them open. That was my first concert. They opened for the Rolling Stones, and I was more excited
3
about
times.
that before.
Seen 3 times. I was at that one too.
Before I had a panic attack.
The reason I ask Rockstar is they're coming in concert, I think it's in August nearby.
Yeah, they're coming to Albertville with Dashboard Confessional, Dunaway's band.
Yeah.
I've seen wonderful concert from Dashboard Confessionals. I saw the Counting Crows on their whatever I called it their Reimagined tour. He basically did a lot of talking about the songs and such. And,
he does that, and they do a lot of. They get upset because they didn't play Mr. Jones or they didn't play like Anna Begins. They did a lot of new stuff.
Well, I would
they played all the hits at the one I went to at the amphitheater here in Birmingham, but then I saw him. The reason I was so nervous about my Taylor Swift ticket experience, that I was afraid it wasn't going to work out. The only other time I bought tickets for a concert from a third party was for the Counting Crows when Maggie and I were dating, and I'd spent extra money, wait for it, it was the 90s, to get front row seats.
Of course.
At $60 a head.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a big expense, total of $120. And dude's voice, he had to cancel the Alabama Theater. And when he rescheduled, it was for the Oak Mountain Amphitheater. And, I did not buy my tickets through Ticketmaster or whoever, and I was out of luck. I had to end up sitting on the lawn for that, but that was a fantastic concert.
So you think I ought to go see him, Rockstar?
You've never seen him? Yeah,
I've never seen him. I'd like to see him.
This is kind of like a rebirth of them. Like they're finally going back on the road. He shaved the dreads off, or the wig, or whatever he had.
Yeah, he looks totally different. Yeah,
he shaved his face, but I think now he's grown his beard back because he looks just like Adam Richman.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Exactly like Adam Richman.
Well, have you guys Vice the channel?
Yeah,
they've got the dark side of different things like wrestling. Well, they've got the dark side of Hollywood, and they did a special on the Viper Room where River Phoenix died, and its popularity when Johnny Depp bought it. But Adam was one of the celebrity bartenders all the time, so he was the guy that was kind of their go-to interview about the Viper Room the entire time.
And is it true that he did the not the Friends trifecta, but did 2 legs of the Friends Triple Crown?
Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston to Courtney Cox, or Cox to Aniston?
I know he had
Courtney Cox to Jennifer Aniston.
And he had Cox in Long December music video. I think they were dating at the time that video was made. So,
I like that song too. That might be my favorite song they do.
And then he's had a lot of. We can do the dating history.
Yeah, no, he has.
Rockstar's your favorite website?
No, I just thought it was weird that you could. He was Phoebe short of getting the trilogy from the Friends episode.
And Ursula.
That's true.
And Ursula.
I think at his height, he wanted to avoid Phoebe.
At that point.
I think he probably hit number 1 and number 2.
People are asking, was that you doing Thank You from Zeppelin? No, that was from Rockstar's Lounge on Friday. Don't forget tickets Friday night to see Rockstar's Friends down at Workplay. You can get those at workplay.com for Friday night. It's an acoustic Zeppelin show that was just absolutely fantastic on Friday.
It was Alan Barlow and John Campbell. John Campbell is an amazing singer. He sounds just like Robert Plant. He can also sound like Sting. He's just a great singer. So they did an amazing job. Super proud of them. Their show is Friday. Brar at workplay.com.
I'll be there. Are you guys going?
I'm planning on going, but I just got to check with the wife. I found out today she's not at home tonight, so I don't.
Wow, how about that?
We are day to day, on a need to know basis on where we are every day.
So do you guys? I mean, do y'all have that like plan, like on the calendar on the refrigerator? I'm out today, or
nope.
How'd you know she was out?
She mentioned this morning as I was walking to come here, and she was doing a big project that's due at Duke, which she had yesterday too. So the second one, and she was like, "Hey, remember? I don't know if I told you last week, but I'm sure you have forgotten. I'm not in town tonight." And I said, I had forgotten. So the 2 steaks I have marinating right now, your boy's going to eat 2 of them.
Double steak done away.
Double steak done away.
The 2 dogs won't get one of the steaks?
No, they're not. They're not Vishless.
Yeah, they get dog food.
Yeah. All right. We start things off. College World Series, 6 of the 8 set. Number 1 Wake Forest. Number 2 Florida. Number 5 LSU. Number 7 Virginia. TCU and Oral Roberts are all out there in Omaha, awaiting 2 more teams. 2 more games today. Tennessee and Southern Miss, 6 o'clock ESPN2, weather permitting, and Texas and Stanford, 8 o'clock ESPN. Winner take all in those 2 games to fill out the College World Series field. Alabama eliminated 5-4, and Alabama fans will talk all weekend about the wild strike zone in that one. 5-4 to Wake Forest.
That was one of the worst final strike calls I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was a couple of them in that whole final sequence there, but I don't know.
But it was about a foot outside of the box.
And high. Yeah. But, sometimes if, I don't know if the batter said something about the one that was sort of high and inside or if somebody from the dugout, but you can chirp a little bit and eventually, you didn't like that one? Watch this one. You're gone.
Yeah, I just don't know how you end a game like that. And that was, a really good game. And, thank God I had Alabama plus 17.5 runs yesterday.
Yeah, 22-5. No strike zone needed in 22-5. I didn't watch the game live. I was at dinner last night when I first saw the highlights. I knew the result, but watching the highlights, they looked like a slow-pitch softball team on the breaking balls. They were just yanking them.
Yeah, and
it's crazy.
And just missiles. I watched it at a random Mexican joint, sitting at the bar eating lunch. Yeah. And
where we're going to dinner? Let's go down to Rando, Mexico.
That's what I did. And the bombs that they were hitting. I mean, that Wake team, because we talked about the 3 aces that they've got.
Yep.
But you don't talk about their offense. But man, that they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a good team. I had just brought up the idea of the fact that maybe the ACC was a bit overvalued based on their overall performance in the regionals. And Wake Forest not overvalued. It's a good baseball team.
Well, I mean, maybe Alabama had overexceeded and ran out of gas.
They could have too. Yeah, I mean, both those things are possible.
I mean, we'll see if Wake Forest is overvalued or not. But they looked the part.
They look pretty good, yeah.
But all that said, I mean, results are results. You know that. We're here for the big picture. We got 2 sound bites for you. One from Jason Jackson, the interim head coach, and then Drew Williamson, one of the players on this Alabama team that by far overachieved, 43 wins. They made it to the Super Regionals for the first time in forever. It's the most wins since Jim Wells had 44 back in 2006, so just exceeded expectations after the firing of their head coach, but they do have an opening. So is Jason Jackson going to be the head coach? Before we hear the sound around the table, if you're Greg Byrne today, do you hire him or do you hire someone else?
I hire someone else. And it's that is no reflection on Jason Jackson personally. And he may end up being the best candidate, but I shop this job around to proven known commodity head coaches. The guy at Louisville apparently has interest, known commodity, right?
I would start by offering baseball version of Nick Saban money to the Wake Forest coach.
Yeah, the Wake coach, the East Carolina coach has interest. I mean, all those are known commodity programs, and it's not a guy that I've never seen as a head coach, right? I mean, I've seen this guy as a head coach for 20 games?
Yeah, for a guy who's in charge of recruiting, managing a program.
Yeah. So I start with known commodities, Lance, if I'm Greg Byrne.
I would too. But if I can't get one of those guys, I've got no problem hiring this guy.
I can hire that guy at any point, right?
You think about everything that was going on when Bohannon was fired. I mean, this thing could have gone south quickly.
Yeah, and I expected it to go south.
Oh,
I did
gotcha.
too.
Yes, I thought it hit the mountain.
To be honest, as a guy who's grown up Alabama his whole life, I was thankful that at least so far it was contained to Bohannon. My feel was when the thing was announced that I was afraid it was going to be
a gambling scandal.
Yeah, a vein of problems like involving players or other staffers or something. So I was very thankful it was just the former head coach, and this guy came in and was fantastic, and the players rallied.
Yeah, it seemed like the team was loose after all that. It's like Bohannon was really baggage.
This guy's a really good story, and I think he's a really good coach. I don't mean to diminish what he's done by just saying he's a good story. I think obviously he's a good coach. He's respected by that team, and everyone around the program speaks highly of him. I can probably hire, if I'm devoting resources, I can hire a known commodity at Alabama.
Yeah,
and I'm not taking a gamble that what I've seen over 20 games is what I'm going to get for 5 years from this guy. I've seen the guy at Louisville. I've seen the guy at East Carolina. I've seen the guy at Wake. I know what I'm getting. That doesn't make it 100% successful, but I know what I'm getting out of those guys as a head coach. I got a track record.
Imagine how good the 30 for 30 would have been if they had beat Wake, gone to Omaha, won 4 games without losing, and hoisted the trophy, or 5 games, whatever it is when you get there. 30 for 30. What if I told you halfway through the season your coach bet on something else other than you, and you still held up a trophy?
No, the best thing would be if Bohannon had Alabama to win it all and nobody knew about it, had this ticket at like 70-1, and he just cashes out on that thing.
Okay, so what if I told you one coach was betting against his team all season? 30 and 30% roll of the dice. You like it?
I like it.
How good is this Alabama job? To me, it's like it could be a sleeping giant because this is a team that's been in Omaha before. They've got resources.
You've got to devote the resources, though. They don't devote the resources. And that's the thing. And it's not just what you're paying your head coach. Bohannon was paid near the bottom of the league. I mean, if you're not making $1 million as a head baseball coach anymore, you're behind in the SEC. And he wasn't. I mean, I think he was making $500,000. And it's not just that, though. It's the support staff. How much you're willing to pay assistants, so you get quality assistants. How much you're willing to pay the off-field staff, so you got people that are handling the off-field roles.
It's Tennessee football to me. That's the equivalent. It's
good history.
It can reach greatness, though they've never won a national championship. They played a couple of times for one, so they've been to Omaha a few times. But it's one of those that if it's not all clicking, it can be really bad too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've got, it's not as easy as it is for Georgia or
LSU's baseball is what you've got with Alabama football.
Yeah, or Georgia football.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, it's a great point. So, do you hire him or do you not hire him? We love your thoughts in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. But 2 sound bites here. First, Jason Jackson on just his thoughts on this team, and would he be interested in staying on as the head coach?
As a great example to hopefully a lot of people, but I know our fans, the kids that watch us play. My son is 8 years old, and I'm so glad that he got to see these guys, right? And how they handled every reason to feel sorry for themselves, every reason to kind of, I don't want to say quit, but like every reason to just kind of have the woe is me. And they didn't. Every time something happened, they jumped right back up and they kept pushing forward and they kept pushing forward. And it's a really good baseball team. It's a really good baseball team. And it's also a great story of character and resilience. I would love to come back. I love this university. I love these players. I love the guys that are here. And I love coaching this team. I love all of them. So, I would love to come back.
I'd love to come back. Now, Drew Williamson and Jim Jarvis, the 2 guys sitting next to him here, the players in typical NCAA fashion when we're at basketball or football or now baseball tournaments, and you see these post games, they're all set up a lot like this. Listen to this and tell me if you hear anything like Forrester and I heard. Here they are reacting to Jason Jackson as their head coach.
He couldn't have done any more perfect of a job. And I can say that honestly, that I would go to war for this guy. I've loved the time that I've got to spend playing for him. And I hope that somebody will give him a shot somewhere else because they will not regret it. He's a great dude, great coach, just great all around. And I really enjoyed having him.
I can't say enough about him. I'm a little upset I didn't get to spend more time around him, my time here. But I know for a fact that I'll stay in touch with you. Maybe a little too much, but I hope so. Yeah. But yeah, we don't get here without him. Yes. That's for sure.
I don't get to make any hiring decisions, but if I did, I promise you this would be my guy. I'll say that.
Yeah.
All right.
But the first thing he said, Brown, what did he say?
Oh, the guy on the left. I hope somebody hires him somewhere.
Somebody hires him somewhere.
I'm guessing guy on the right's a senior, so that's when he's talking about staying in touch with him.
That's one of the best baseball mullets out there.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. But kid on the left is talking about him in past tense as if they've already been told this is not going to be your guy.
Yeah, or if Jason has told them,
yeah, I'm not getting the job.
I may be their last choice, but they're shopping this around.
Yeah.
That's what Forrester read into it when he saw that.
That's what it sounded like. There's no doubt.
Baseball's the most superstitious sport out there. But the camo hat, I didn't think was a good look.
Yeah, but they were on a roll with
Yeah,
it, so
they
it
were.
kept going. But
They
it
were.
was not a good look. I mean, camo is functional when you need to be undercover. Doesn't really look great on a uniform.
Yeah, unless I think it's like the Padres do the camo every now and then.
They already got those colors.
Yeah,
sort
but
of
they've already
blended
got
in.
the color
it's their
scheme.
color. Yeah, that's right. Like when the Braves did it a couple weeks ago for Memorial, they didn't understand why they're doing it, right? I get that, but they were wearing that throwback VA uniform, which is from the 80s, from my childhood. I like that uniform, and then it's got the camo hat. It just does not go at all.
All right, so tough call for what Greg Byrne and them are going to do with the baseball program, and we're 75 days away from week 0 of college football. People will, when we get to Nashville SEC Media Days, they'll be thinking about it, Alabama football more than they are baseball. But for a few days, Alabama baseball center stage, and we'll see what they do with the program. Show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Odie's, and we'll get to the other things going on. Odie's trivia coming quick at you on Wednesday.
Yeah, it'll be here Wednesday night. Me and Rocky, Will Haver, every single Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, Odie's Team Trivia. But go out there, enjoy a big-time lunch or dinner. Rodney Davis cooking up great food for more than 3 decades. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, those great sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets full of Bud Light, inside or outside on that patio. It's a Birmingham institution. It is Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
All right. Goose says his prediction for today's 40 and 40 is UAB. We'll get to our 40 and 40 team, in-state team, coming up a little bit later on. Basketball tonight, we'll talk about later on. Heat and Nuggets, the championship trophy will be in the arena tonight, 7:30 on ABC. Las Vegas leads Florida 3-1. The Stanley Cup will be in Vegas on Tuesday night. Can you imagine Vegas winning a major? I know the WNBA, the Aces, won one last year, and it was a heck of a party.
Was it
for
really?
the WNBA? Can you imagine the Stanley Cup being won Tuesday in Vegas, what the party in Vegas will be like for the fans that really support that franchise really well?
Yeah, Vegas is just such a weird town because that arena is right downtown on the Strip. And you've got people from all over the world that are converging right there. But Vegas on the outskirts is like this massive town. And I think Nashville's probably the only town that is building quicker than Vegas. I mean, everywhere you go in Nashville, everywhere you go in Vegas, all you see are cranes and new buildings going up.
I would say probably like on the Strip. What percentage of people would you say that would be on the Strip had zero clue that the night shirt?
And that's what I was going to bring that up. I don't know how to gauge this. Like, people on the Strip are partying anyway.
That's
Do
what I'm
they
going to
really
say.
care?
I think most of the people are just going to fold into the party because it's a party. They don't even.
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, that's right, but it's a party and we're in Vegas.
Well, it's like those guys who steal that cup with
That's
the
right.
flowers in
Yeah.
it, right?
They have quite the night, don't they?
They do have
Mandalorian
quite the
theme
night.
song.
And then they put the cup back and put the now bent flowers right back in.
Yeah.
Good dudes to bring it back and reset it up
agree.
for the
Oh,
staff.
that thing would have gone home with me.
Yeah, exactly. And we can tell stories later in life, like that ceramic fox from back in the day. All right. One more thing here in the opening segment. When you get older like me, sometimes weird things happen, right? Like your reactions are slow. I told you the story last week that
The ball hit at you?
the ball was hit at me. I thought I moved Matrix-like, perfect timing to avoid getting hit. All my friends kidded me that the ball had landed in the weeds by the time it got away from me. John Sterling, Rockstar Cut 3, has been calling Yankees games since 1989. Between 89 and 2019, he went 5,000 plus straight games without missing a game. Since 2019, he's been off and on. He's in his 80s. I think it's 84 that he is, 84 years old. He's doing a game Saturday night, Red Sox-Yankees. Red Sox took 2 or 3 from the Yankees. Sterling has already missed like 3 weeks. He's just now back.
Yeah, he had an illness of some sort, yeah.
He called it a cold, but
Yeah.
he was out for 3 weeks, and a young 36-year-old had taken his place. So the Jim moment of the day, we'll just call it the Jim moment of the day, brought to you by our friends at Simpio, is John Sterling Saturday night. And hats off to him. Here we go.
Now the 3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here. Ow! 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 It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far. You know, that foul ball actually hit me. It kind of glanced off my forehead. So I took one for the team.
Are you okay, John?
Yes,
Okay, yes.
I am
You
okay.
okay?
Just a glancing blow.
Are you okay?
He never stopped. I mean, it's, they got the pitch clock.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while he's still touching his head and stuff, it's like the 3-2 ground foul down the third base line. That's when he goes in. So do the replay for me, Rockstar. So now everybody has seen it once. You play it again so they know what's coming this time.
And now the 3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here. Ow! 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 It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far. That foul ball actually hit me. It kind of glanced off my forehead. So I took one for the team.
Damn, he's so out of it didn't hurt him.
John?
Yes,
Oh,
I am okay. Just a glancing blow.
Archie, are you okay?
How did that not
Juwan.
break his glasses?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a shot.
He had a little blood. They bandaged him up between innings.
What if that would have been the way he goes out?
How'd she say it, Rockstar?
John.
John
Everybody's-
Sterling dead from a foul ball.
Everybody's saying new trash open, Rockstar.
Yeah.
Scott suggested I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Good new trash open.
Ow!
But in fairness to him now, he probably sees what, LT, about 88 foul balls a night. And once it gets so high, you're blocked by the upper deck, right, in these press boxes because you're not on the top level. So he probably saw it popped up and gave up on it.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, it's whack job right there in the face.
His reaction time, though, I'm scared if he's driving around New York.
Yeah, I think he's probably got car service at his,
probably.
his
At
point in his
84,
career.
at
Yeah.
84.
I mean, but it's a one hopper too. I mean, it was like,
It's skidded like.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess the foul ball just pops over the net and it boom, boom. I mean,
Yep. I
You
think
would-
I think he got high enough that he gave up on
maybe
it.
so. Got up in the lights or something.
Yeah. So I'm glad John's okay. He didn't die, so I can say negative things about him. Never liked his
No, I
broadcast.
can't stand the way he calls.
Not a
it.
fan.
I can't stand the way he calls the game.
I
But
thought you liked it back in the day because we were.
No, we played it because
Yeah.
it's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
I can't stand the way he calls the game. And I'll give him credit for just jumping right back in and keeping the broadcast.
Oh,
I mean, he was a pro. True
Yeah,
pro.
that was a Chris Rock moment from the Oscars.
Yeah, true pro, man. He's right back in it.
It reminded me of that guy doing the apology, and he's like, I just want to say anybody I offended.
Tom Brenneman.
By the way, long drive left field.
Casiano's a long drive right field, and it's a 4-3 game.
But again, I'm so sorry. It just never misses a beat. We'll get to your best and worst of the weekend. Put that in one of those categories. The show brought to you by our friends at Simpio today. Great place to start things off. We'll also unveil our 40 and 40 team when we come back before we get to the best and worst of the weekend.
Yeah, our friends at Simpio was one of the first calls we made here because they're going to take care of the BS in every single office. When your business joins Simpio, they take care of the 4 pillars: compliance, HR, payroll, benefits. When your company joins Simpio, you gain access to healthcare and employer benefits at prices only large organizations get. On average, Simpio is saving companies of all sizes and industries over 18% net of their fees. You can join Simpio any time of year. No annual contract. With that being said, they've got a 99% retention rate. Call Blake and the guys today, 205-635-7467 or Simpio.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Conquer whatever summertime activities you want to take part in, all while wearing the perfect shoes. Our fit specialists take precise measurements of your feet and analyze how you walk and run so that your shoes fit perfectly. And we haven't forgotten about the kids either. We'll get them equipped for summer camp or whatever adventures they take on. Stop by the New Balance Birmingham store today, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the Next Round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1 or call Waynes.com. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
If you followed the show now for 13 years, usually I don't compliment Brown, right? It's a theme that we've had for years and years.
That's right.
Like brothers.
Many times I don't deserve one.
But you're a pretty good whistler.
Oh, thank you.
Give me a little whistle to that beat.
Well,
there.
I mean, it's so hard to do it on command. I was just give me something to whistle. Not that one.
Because you're changed by the Scorpions.
Huh?
No.
What? How does it go? Give me
It's really high.
Well, I can't whistle high.
Okay. Yeah.
If this doesn't have your dogs going crazy,
I know.
Nothing will. Let us do one other thing. Alexa, what's the weather today? That gets you going. Hey, our 40 and 40 countdown brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. We're to 35 today, the unveiling in just a second. What does UCA have for us?
Compassionate and comprehensive urological care, 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. The Men's Health Center that they just opened last year, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. Visit urologycentersalabama.com. Schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists.
Timmons says, LOL, I was just about to say my dog is going nuts.
Sorry about that.
All right, let's do the unveiling. We're to 35 this week. There they are. Look at there. The Troy Trojans. Illinois, Pitt, Iowa, Duke, UCF all behind. Troy coming in at number 35. That 56 in the lower right-hand corner, that is the total points. So they were a good 12 total points ahead of where UCF was, in at number 36 there. So the Trojans are in, and guys, they're on a 12-game win streak. There's only one team right now with a longer win streak in Division I college football, and they have the national championship trophy the last 2 years.
Yeah, this Troy, Jon Sumrall, just an amazing turnaround last year when they started 1-2, and how they lost that game to Appalachian State and come back and win 11 straight to end the season at 12-2. First time they were ever ranked to finish the year 19th. We've got them too low. When you look at their schedule, there is only one for sure spot they'll be underdogs, and that's week 2 in Manhattan.
How big a dog are they? I was going to ask you that.
Probably 8 to 10.
Oh, wow.
Troy's a legit team.
Troy's a legit team, but Brown's future, where his money's about to go. South Alabama had a good year last year. They should be sneaky good. I got Troy ahead of them. But then there's James Madison that is eligible for the championship this year. And I've said for a couple of years, this Sun Belt football.
Oh, and James Madison's really good.
Yes.
But they get JMU at home.
Yeah, back-to-back games, though, at Kansas State and hosting JMU. That's a tough two-game stretch right there.
Tough ask right there.
Yeah.
7 guys on the Troy defense, 7 guys on the defense are either first or second team all Sun Belt, according to Athlon. So you've got a really good defensive unit back that helped put together that 12-game win streak.
Well, that was it. The offense was inconsistent, and you look at the defense, they gave up less than 20 in 10 games, all wins. 10-0 when they gave up less than 20. This is also an offense that, they had 5 wins where they scored less than 20 points. And that's hard to do in college football.
Yeah.
So the defense really carried this team last year. Gunnar Watson's got to be a little more consistent at the quarterback position. But I think Troy could be better this year. I don't know if the record can be as good, but they can be better.
35 is probably lower than they deserve to be. But when you turn in 25 votes, which is what every one of our 67 pollsters were asked to do, if you've never voted in this, we don't ask you to turn in 40. Just like the AP poll, we ask you to turn in 25. So as you're doing a preseason, if Troy doesn't make it into your top 25, then they get 0 votes on your ballot.
And I don't know if you guys had them in the 25. I didn't. I had them really close, though.
I did not have them in my 25, and I think that's how you end up down here. So until we get to 25, everyone else is sort of, somebody taking a flyer on them. They finished 19th last year, their first time ever finishing nationally ranked in a national poll like that. So Jon Sumrall, the head coach, will be with us coming up at 10 o'clock. We'll talk to him. Really, 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 really great first year for him. I can't wait to ask him if anybody called him up, tried to hire him away in year 1.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising.
Seems to be a personal question.
I mean, Eli Drinkwitz got that.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you do the job, when you're on a 12-game win streak, Brown, and really one of their losses was that Hail Mary.
To App State.
Are we going to see who can ask the most personal question?
Well,
the most uncomfortable silence.
You got one more than, hey, did somebody try to hire you last year?
I mean, is that a
anybody
personal
slide
question?
into your DMs, Coach?
No, I'm just like, the options are, no, you know what? Nobody really wanted me, Jim. Or,
and I decided to stay here.
Yeah.
That's the answer you give. I got calls, but I didn't entertain them. I wanted to at least spend a couple of years here.
All
at Troy.
due respect to Troy, I think it's going to be the former, what Brown said.
That nobody called him?
Didn't get any calls.
I mean, I'm trying to remember the job openings last year. I don't remember seeing his name linked to any of them. I think it will be a matter of time. I think if he has
if he backs it up with another 10 or 11 win season, which I think they should based on schedule.
And this is a guy with an SEC assistant coach pedigree, so he's coached in the Southeastern Conference, which I do think will help you.
So no conference title this year for James Madison either. I know they couldn't do it last year. They got to go another year.
Boy, they make it hard to move up, don't they? The NCAA.
Geez, Tripp. I thought just last year was the one they had to pay the penalty. They got to go another year. They can't win the championship.
Hey, how about I mentioned the fact that they're at Kansas State, and you brought up, or Lance mentioned that you brought up James Madison, and then week 3 they host Western Kentucky, who's got Austin Reed back, one of the top quarterbacks in America. It's an interesting little stretch.
September is the difficulty.
Yeah, it's a tough month for them.
Jon Sumrall is the coach. He'll join us at 10. That is the 40 and 40 today at number 35 with the Troy Trojans. I don't keep a perfect record of our 40 and 40, but I think it's the first time Troy has been in our preseason 40 and 40 countdown for the 12 years we've done this. So UCA, our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, bringing us the countdown.
Yeah, June is flying by, but remember, June is Men's Health Month. Men's Health Month serves as a reminder that prioritizing our well-being is not just a luxury, but a necessity. It's time to focus on specific health concerns that impact men. The Men's Health Center is helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. Visit UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists.
All right, so here we go. One other college football note until we get to best and worst of the weekend. Is it Tyler Shough? Is that how you say it? Shuck. Okay, Tyler Shuck. Named on Friday after the show. Texas Tech starting quarterback going into the season. He has an amazing stat. At Texas Tech, he is 8-0 when he starts and finishes a game.
Yeah. And again, I'll say, and Tyler Shuck was the guy Luganville brought up when I brought this up to Luganville. One of the under-the-radar games I can't wait for this year is Week 2, Texas Tech hosting Oregon.
Oh.
And you got a pretty good little storyline right there now with Tyler Shuck as the official Texas Tech starter.
Yeah, and I've already called the upset there.
Yeah.
I think Texas Tech is going to knock Oregon off. But Shuck was a guy that was at Oregon before, starting quarterback there. You mentioned 8-0 as Texas Tech starting quarterback, 12-4 overall as a college starter. So he's got skill. The problem is he can't stay healthy.
Which happened first? Bo went to Oregon or Shuck left?
Shuck left.
Shuck left.
Yeah.
Okay, that happened first. That will be an interesting matchup. But again, another early. We're getting more of these starting quarterbacks announced early. Shuck's the guy. 8-0 when he starts and finishes the game. This will be the third season at Texas Tech.
Yeah, this is his 6th year overall as a quarterback in college football. Bo Nix is 5th year this year. Is that right?
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this will be it for Bo as well.
A lot of experience at quarterback in that game.
Yes, there is. Week 2, that is the primetime 6 o'clock Fox game, main Fox, Texas Tech hosting Oregon. That'll be a fun game.
So
That's
our
a
boy
good day of
Clyde will be
football.
on that?
No, he'll be on the Big Noon.
Big Noon, yeah.
I don't know who they've got that week on the Big Noon. I'd have to go look.
Probably Brock.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's on the Big 6 kickoff? The big night kickoff.
The big 6 p.m.
One other note about the Big Noon kickoff. Some of you Alabama fans probably saw this back on Friday as well. Right now, Reggie Bush is in a contract, a standstill with Fox on his return to the pregame show with Leinart and the quarterback Brady Quinn and Urban Meyer.
They've got a really good pregame show. A lot of people don't watch it, but it gets better and better.
And it's
gotten better
closed
and better.
the gap a little bit on game day. Now, game day's ratings are still really good.
I flip back and forth, and I never used to do that. It is really, really good, and they're on site, which adds energy. Usually inside the stadium of the game, they're going to broadcast.
And I think Reggie's good.
Likely, this was what I read on Friday. Former Alabama Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram, who's yet to officially announce his retirement from the NFL, is slated to replace Reggie Bush on that broadcast.
Wow.
If Bush's contract cannot be worked out.
Man, Mark's a personable guy.
Yeah, and did some fill-in on the Alabama radio network recently, and apparently that's his next chapter when he's officially done in the NFL.
It's a big jump.
Yeah, odd that he hasn't announced that retirement yet, which you have to eventually do officially, I guess, to start the clock on your NFL pension and such. But if he does that, if he gets the Bush gig, I would imagine that's good money and good for Mark Ingram.
Did his dad ever get out of prison?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Ask Jon Sumrall that. That'll be a very personal question. Best and worst of the weekend brought to you by our friends at Hemphill. Hemphill Services get you the best and worst of the weekend.
Yeah, hey, summer weather is here. Our friends at Hemphill Services offering that 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty. When you mention the next round, call Adam, Chad, the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. Do it now. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
My best of the weekend was just another great encounter with one of our viewers and his wife. Forrester, if you can pull up the picture here. I'm at Walk-Ons, one of our great sponsors, after a round of golf, and I'm walking out leaving. And this is Ryan right here. He and his wife, Susanna, were sitting at the end of the bar, and I'm leaving, and he was like, Dunaway. And I stopped, and I love that shirt, man. And so we started talking. We talked a long time. And so I mentioned to Susanna, hey, right now, nextround.store, I love that shirt. We've got a ton of shirts there, 25% off for Father's Day coming up, Susanna. Buy 2 shirts and a hat, get 25% off, free shipping. You know what she said? I can't do it because since you guys started this, every gift-giving holiday, he owns every one of y'all's shirts.
It's impossible. We got a lot of shirts.
Yeah,
There's no
we
way
got
owns
a
every one
lot
of
of
them.
shirts.
Yeah.
But hey, just for trying.
Yeah.
She said there is nothing else that he wants from your store. He's got a shirt for more than every day of the week. Not another shirt in the store. And I said, in Lunsford is still a World Series of Poker. We'll get to that later in the show. But I said, here's my pledge to you then, young Ryan. Before the end of summer, we will get more shirts in the store, different styles.
Oh, yeah, they're coming.
We got to get new styles.
And we've got another item that I think is going to be really, really cool. I think it'll be a big seller. Our gear is awesome. It really is.
It is. Does he like coffee by chance?
I mentioned that. I don't know if he's a coffee drinker.
Okay.
I mentioned that.
And I know we joke about a lot of things. I can't tell you how humbling that is to know that every gift-giving season she gives that guy
since we started
next trail
this,
gear. I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah, he's in sales, which you can relate to, LT, and is on the road a lot. And he says he carries this wherever he goes. Just a tremendously nice guy, and appreciate him, saying hi when he was leaving. He goes, I didn't want to bother you guys. And I was like, I think he said he saw either me or you in Publix one day. Was going to go over and say, but he didn't know how we'd handle that. And I was like, are you kidding me? Especially me. I eat it up. Yeah. Yell at me in front of people.
But the problem with Dunaway is that Dunaway's going to talk to you not wanting to really have a conversation, and he's going to drag the conversation too long.
We did talk for about 15, 20 minutes. Eventually, he was like, I need to get back to my food.
That was one of my best. Did y'all see Conor McGregor hit the
That's
mascot?
your best of the weekend?
I mean, because Miami's so dumb for even putting this thing on.
Yeah.
It was one of my best.
Yeah.
Now, sadly, it sent the mascot to the ER.
Oh, that is pretty bad.
It was the second punch to me.
I think it was.
That did damage because
the first looked worse.
Yeah.
But I think the second actually it went through and actually more contact with the second.
And you're down on the ground, right? And for those that don't know what Lance is talking about, because you can't see the TV. And you missed the story. Maybe Conor McGregor, the UFC guy, they call him out during a timeout, right?
Yeah, it's game 4.
Yeah, and you know how the mascots work out bits to do with stars or coaches or players or referees. He comes out with big gold boxing gloves on. The Miami Heat. I think his name's Bernie, Burnie. Bernie comes out and he's gonna box with Conor McGregor, who throws a haymaker and hits him. But I think it hit him in the stuffy part of the mask.
That's right.
And then when he went on the ground, he goes with another one onto the ground. And I think it caught him in the thin part of the mask, the non-stuffing part. And with his head against the ground, I think that concussed him.
Yeah, I don't think punch number 2 was probably on the table. It was probably supposed to be to the knockout and then walk off.
And then he flops down.
But McGregor couldn't get enough. I'm not a Conor McGregor fan, but I just thought it was one of the dumbest ideas to even throw out on the table. I mean, how do you think this thing's going to end?
Well, Tripp says this mascot should get a proper $12 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe this mascot's probably going to have a nice little check. There's probably going to be a workers' comp situation, number 1, and then number 2.
We learned from Rocky, who makes $625,000 for Denver, not our Rocky, but Rocky the mascot. I think he's an independent contractor.
Is he?
Yeah. So I don't know if workers' comp comes into play. I don't know how that all works.
He'll have a lawyer. I promise you that.
I've got 2 worst.
Will you save them for the other side?
Sure.
2 worst coming up on the other side, and And we'll talk about the NBA before we get to Jon Sumrall coming up as we continue Best and Worst of the Weekend, brought to you by Hemp-Hill. And you can get into the action tonight in the NBA with our friends at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag. Have you seen a line on this game?
Tonight?
Yeah. Last time I saw it was 9.
Yeah, it's Denver 9.
9.
Yeah. Fun night in basketball.
What do I watch? Desperate Housewives?
MyBookie.ag. Go next round. How long does it
pulling up old ABC shows from the 90s.
MyBookie.ag. Code next round. You can get on board for tonight's game. Don't forget code next round when you sign up at MyBookie.ag, and you get that sign-on bonus up to $1,000. You heard me right. A sign-on bonus up to $1,000 at MyBookie.ag when you use code next round. Whether it is the NBA game tonight or it's Major League Baseball continuing, College World Series out in Omaha, all of that available right there at mybookie.ag. Don't forget code next round to get that sign-on bonus up to $1,000. It's very simple. You bet, you win, they pay. You bet, you win, they pay at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Mybookie.ag, code next round. Mybookie.ag, code next round.
John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the next round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1, or call Waynes.com. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel, where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
I was nervous the whole commercial break.
Why?
Because, you know, the guy I met and had a long conversation with, when I'm socially awkward like that, what's the one thing I don't remember correctly? Names.
Did you get them right?
So I'd like to say I finally got one right. I had to go back and double check. That was actually Ryan.
So Susanna was right? And
Susanna was right.
Was,
Susanna was the easy to remember because that was the first Susanna I'd ever met.
Yeah, best time to check is after you've done the segment. So that was good by you.
Well, that's the way we run this show, Brownie.
I'm well aware.
Our show brought to you in part by our friends at Bromberg's, and then we'll get one good and two bads from LT before we get to the top of the hour.
I may not have a bad, but I may have a weird that I've just discovered.
Yeah, well, one of mine's weird. One's up. I mean, it's not bad. It's just upsetting, but hey, we'll get to it. Hey, Father's Day is coming up this weekend, right?
This isn't one of your deep thought upsettings, right? That I should have gone to it at 30 minutes after the hour so we'd be on time at the top.
Give me an example of what is one of my deep upsettings before.
Last time I don't know. We've talked a couple.
Okay.
I mean, how deep is this one?
Well, I mean, it was disappointing. I thought I had something.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just.
I didn't know if we should hang out the shingle and ask you to lay down on the Lego chair and me pull out my notepad.
No, I'm good. Father's Day is coming up this Sunday, right? 6 days out?
Oh, yeah, Father's Day.
So we all get taken care of this weekend, but Bromberg's invites you to discover David Yurman's new spring collection. Shop for Father's Day gifts at their Summit store. David Yurman, founded in New York City by two artists, David, a sculptor, his wife, Sybil, a painter. Over 40 years later, the Yurmans and their son, Evan, continue to redefine American luxury jewelry, combining innovative technology, fine craftsmanship, and exquisite artistry. Visit Bromberg's today to find that perfect Father's Day gift from David Yurman Spring Collections. Again, you can go to the Summit location, check them out for yourself, or online at brombergs.com.
NH3425, Braves going 2-1 against the Nationals, his best of the weekend. Oh. How you would throw that best with it not being a sweep of the Nationals. They suck.
Yeah, I agree.
Worst of the weekend, Adam Hadwin getting trucked by security. If you missed that, the best of the weekend.
It was pretty incredible.
That's not your best, is it, Brian?
It is my best. So the 67th year, I think? 69th year of the Canadian Open. No Canadian has ever won the event. And, I mean, I guess you would say it would be the equivalent of the U.S. Golf Open, and no U.S. players ever won it. Like, when the U.S. player finally wins it, it would have been a heck of a celebration.
Now, for the record, there's not there's good Canadian golfers. There's not a ton.
No. Really, the first really good one was Mike Weir.
Yeah.
I mean, that I remember.
And I think he's only got one major.
He's got one Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won the Masters.
And he played left-handed.
He did play left-handed. But I will say, Lance, they're producing more and more really good players. Corey Connors is out there. We mentioned Adam Hadwin. And then there's Nick Taylor, who is, I mean, I would say not a well-known golfer on the PGA Tour.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, most people had never heard of him. But he becomes the first Canadian to ever win the Canadian Open, and he did it in about the most spectacular fashion you can do it. It was a terrible playoff. It was a 4-hole playoff that was not a good playoff. But on the fourth playoff hole, he hits a 72-foot eagle putt to win the event.
I mean, what are the percentages of that?
Very low.
Yeah.
Very
3 to
low.
5% maybe?
Yeah, probably. I can look at what the PGA Tour make percentage is for a 72-footer.
It's going to be less than 1%.
It might be, but the coolest thing is when he hit it. You know, it's the bat drop, the mic drop. I mean, he just chunks the club to the side. I mean, it was pretty incredible, and to see those Canadians in Toronto go absolutely nuts. I don't think I mean, maybe when Tiger hit that shot at the Masters, I'm trying to think of something else.
Your point is, it was like a Ryder Cup when the U.S. beat the Europeans at one time.
And they kept saying on the telecast, I doubt you guys are watching, but they kept saying this legitimately has a Ryder Cup feel to it because you had the national pride of all the Canadian fans behind the guy, and then some of the British players came out to support Tommy Fleetwood, their Ryder Cup teammate. I mean, I think you had Justin Rose out there, Shane Lowry, some guys that had just finished. So it became very much a national pride type deal. And for him to make it and just to show that emotion in the interview with Amanda Renner afterwards that he could barely get through it.
So you're telling me, because I said a Canadian had not won it since 1954. You're telling me that 1954 is when it started.
I believe so, yeah.
And they'd never won one.
Yeah.
Wow.
69 years.
That is crazy. I saw the highlights and the champagne and Hadwin, who is also Canadian, right?
Yep.
Hadwin?
Adam Hadwin, yeah.
Running out there to spray the champagne and getting squared up, as some people are saying, like Ray Lewis. It was a forearm tackle.
Oh, it was
on
a
the guy.
great tackle.
Yeah, you would think, though, that so when I first saw it, I was just like, damn, there's a fan out there with a bottle of champagne getting after it. But you would think that the security would know that was one of the golfers.
All I could think of was Dunaway, and Scott is showing still shots of Adam Hadwin getting plastered by the security guy.
I guess Hadwin is wearing a hoodie, though.
Yeah, he had already changed out of his golf gear.
Are those jeans?
Yeah, he's
Canadian
wearing
tuxedo?
The Canadian tuxedo.
He's
got
dressed
denim
for formal?
He gets lit up.
He does. All I can think of was Dunaway, because I saw the video of Adam Hadwin getting tackled, and I thought Dunaway could say, you never know when that champagne bottle's full of explosives.
Yeah, it could have been acid. It was going to... all I'm saying is, I mean, he's got his feet up off the ground now. If he drives him into the ground, that security guard's ejected for targeting.
That's right. It's a personal foul, at least.
Yeah, that probably does get flagged. Now, whether or not it's upheld, who knows?
If he drives him out of the way to the ground, absolutely. What a great scene there. And
it was a crazy scene.
If this was, what is that show where Tony Kornheiser, we'd be waving a Canadian flag.
PTI?
Thank you, Canada, right there.
It was really cool. Really cool. And to see the crowd and to see his reaction, that was my best.
All right. That's the best from Brownie. The two worst from LT's after he tells us about gutter cab.
823-2212. One of the worst would be if you have to work all week and then on the weekends you have to get on that roof. Dirty, dangerous job. Call Chris Stewart. He'll come out and give you an absolutely free estimate. 205-823-2212. Don't ever get the dangerous ladder out. Again, it's a dirty job. Cap it. Don't snap it. For more information, guttercapbirmingham.com.
What are the two worst for you?
Okay, so first, it's not, well, I guess it is a worst. So it's in Rocky. I don't know if you've seen the video. Forrester has seen the video. These two have not seen the video, but Drew sent it to me on Friday. The dude in an Egyptian resort, his girlfriend's on the beach, Stand By Me is playing. Tiger Shark comes up, hits him. You see blood immediately. Yeah. Then he starts screaming. Tiger Shark comes back, hits him again. His feet, both legs, straight out of the water. I don't know how it torqued him like that, but then he comes back up one more time, and the Tiger Shark headshot, which I've never seen, and he's gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I did not see that. That's
that was Lance's
Howard
worst of the
Gladden
weekend.
did not see
Imagine
it.
how the family feels.
Jeez.
Yeah,
And
and
the witnesses?
girlfriend. Oh yeah, girlfriend was. I don't know if she was filming or not, but the video
Filming.
is out there,
Oh.
and it's the like I remember one of the.
I would say she wasn't filming. If
Yeah, I'm going to say it wasn't her because
it
the
was somebody else
video
filming, and you
continues to
just
go.
hear her screaming.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe.
There's no way she continues the video.
I mean, because I think his name is like Vlad.
Yeah, he's Russian. I did at least read it.
Well, I mean, she's obviously close to the camera and is
Yeah.
screaming his name. I just,
And he's screaming back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a bad deal.
Yeah.
Bad deal.
It is.
My other worst.
I mean, the more we talk about these things, the less we'll ever see Little T out in our command center ever in the ocean again. Because I keep sending in our chats a video from down Crab Island this week. 3 hammerheads swimming up between the boats. Everybody's crawling out of the water.
A bear swim ashore at Destin. I don't.
We're gonna get
end of times, my friend.
We're gonna get pictures and make that a segment right before trash
Okay,
because
all right.
I need some answers.
Let's come back to that
I
one.
need some answers.
But it's funny, the reason that Drew was so fascinated about this video, he's like, I showed it to Kate, his daughter, young daughter. And I'm like, you were going to freak her out. And he's like, she doesn't need to be in the ocean.
Okay.
She does not need to be in the ocean.
They're not in Egypt.
Yeah. My other worst, like I don't have, what do you call it, Facebook. So if I would have had Facebook, I probably land myself a Vizsla. So I find out.
I get Facebook. I could have.
I get a post sent to me. It's the kennel that we got Ladybird from, and I get a post, and it ends up being, this is crazy. 4-year-old Vizsla needs rescuing because dude got remarried. His new wife said the dog was too energetic. So it's up. I call. I find out it's Ladybird's brother. I mean, from her exact litter. How awesome is that?
Wow.
And so I'm like, I want the dog. And he said, I've got somebody coming out at 4. If he doesn't take it, it's yours. Guy came out and took it.
Well, yeah, I mean, have you thought about reaching out to the guy and making a substantial offer, the one that took it?
Based
Before he
on
gets attached?
everything, I don't think the guy needs the money. Yeah, he wanted the companion for his dog, and he lives down the street from the dude that had to give the dog up, so they're buddies, and the dude's going to be able to come over. So it's like
the clock's ticking here, but you can be a persuasive guy. I think maybe if you call and tell him the story, he might reconsider this.
Well, but see, his buddy, he's buddies with the guy who had the dog, and now that guy can still visit the dog.
No, but that dude can come hang out at my pool and visit the dog.
Well, how far away is he?
He's in Vestavia. He's not. He's not
I mean,
far.
my gosh, I mean,
but I went back yesterday, and they had a 6-year-old that they had that had, they're breeders, and they had she had given up 2 litters, and they retired her. So I thought about her, but you and I talked about it. I don't want to get attached, and then
for an older dog.
Yeah.
All right, that's LT's weekend. We'll turn the page to Jon Sumrall, who joins us next. He's standing by to talk to us about Troy. After a great year, we'll talk to John when we come back after this break, being brought to you in part by our friends at mybookie.ag.
Yeah, you can play the NBA game tomorrow night, College World Series, all those games. College football when it rolls back around at mybookie.ag. Don't forget code next round to get that sign-on bonus up to $1,000 at mybookie.ag. Whether you're a diehard or a casual, does not matter. There's never been a better time to start exploring the world of online sports betting than with mybookie.ag. It's very simple. You bet, you win, they pay. You bet, you win, they pay. When you go to mybookie.ag, code next round. That is mybookie.ag, code next round to get that sign-on bonus up to $1,000. Mybookie.ag, code next round. Our 40 and 40 team today, the Troy Trojans, as we preview 40 teams and 40 shows, and their coach joins us in 3 minutes.
Follow the Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You hear a lot of interesting phrases while playing golf, like, I think you're on the beach, or the classic, you gotta hit it, Alice. One word you're sure to hear right now at Bentbrook Golf Club is wow. Brand new carts with complimentary GPS, and the bent grass greens are so consistent, you just might drain a few more putts, Alice. Tee it up and find out for yourself. Look around today at bentbrook.com or call 428-1999. It's better at Bentbrook.
Summer is here, school is out, and that means moving season. If you need help buying a home or selling your home, you need Holly Mack Wilson. Let Holly Mack Wilson do for you what she did for 70 people last year. Find you the home of your dreams. She is a professional who helps you with every step of the buying and selling process. Holly Mack Wilson will help you find a home, negotiate the best price, and help you get your home ready to sell. She helps you get the most out of the house you are selling and helps you get into the home of your dreams at the best possible price. Holly Mack Wilson can help you find a home anywhere in Alabama, from Huntsville to Mobile. So call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446, or check her out online at hollymackhomes.com. Then sit back and enjoy your summer. Who knows, she may even help you plan your summer vacation. That's Holly Mack Wilson at 205-901-9446 or hollymackhomes.com. Holly Mack Wilson, your trusted and professional travel planner and Keller Williams agent.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to The Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Alabama eliminated on the road to Omaha in the Men's World Series. Tonight, Tennessee, Southern Mississippi over in Hattiesburg, 6 on ESPN2. Texas and Stanford, 8 o'clock ESPN. Already from the SEC, Florida and LSU qualified for that tournament that starts this weekend. Heat and Nuggets tonight, 7:30 on ABC. Could be the wrap-up game for Denver if they get the win this evening. We unveiled our team at number 35 in the first hour, and LT said it very quickly. Our 67 voters of viewers and listeners have this team underrated at number 35. Let's talk a little Troy football, Brownie.
And their coach joins us now, Coach Jon Sumrall. We love having him on the show. He's with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. First of all, welcome in today, Coach. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, we always love having you on. You know that. And listen, we said it. Our voters voted you too low. We had 67 people turn in their vote at 35. That is a compliment. That you've got Troy in a position where we think 35 is voted too low, but it's the second longest winning streak in the nation right now.
Yeah, we won 11 games in a row to finish last year. This year's team hadn't done anything, though. I think we should be voted 129th or 130th. I watched us work out this morning. We're pretty pedestrian, so we got a lot of work to do. I think we got a chance, but, success is earned, not given. Nobody's going to give us anything, and we've got to prepare really, really well to have a chance to be successful this year.
Go back. Game day was there. You guys are playing Appalachian State, and you lose on just a heartbreaking Hail Mary. You dropped to 1-2, and this thing could have gone off the rails. Instead, you guys win 11 straight. You win a conference championship. You beat a really good Roadrunner UTSA team in a bowl game and end up 12-2 and ranked at the end of the poll for the first time in the history of Troy football. How do you take it from a heartbreaking moment to get these guys to all buy in and be that focused down the stretch?
Yeah, starting off 1-2, first time head coach, was probably a lot of people questioning whether I knew what I was doing at that point, right? But no, really that was a galvanizing moment in our locker room. I'm a little bit maybe sick in the head in some regards. And when that happened deep down, I thought, good, this is a chance for us to learn and grow and come together and take a step forward. And really from that point on, that's when I really feel like we became a team. You know, I think we had some quality individuals that wanted to be successful, but when you go through something like that, you're either going to respond and come together and have each other's back, or you're going to fall apart. And our bunch last year was very resilient, really responded well in adversity. And that moment galvanized our bunch and really, I thought, kind of catapulted what was next. You know, we come back home the next week and we played Marshall, who had just beaten Notre Dame, who was in the top 25 at the time. I think Notre Dame was ranked 8th in the country at that point. And we beat Marshall 16-7, and then just kind of got going. So it took a little bit of a rebound, a response, a regroup, if you will, because that was gut wrenching. Every time that play comes on, I like smile, and other people around me look at me and think, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Man, if that play doesn't happen, we probably end up like 7-5 last year." I mean, and because that play happened, I think that created a real team.
Yeah, that's amazing when you think about
Yeah,
that.
it really is.
That how much it could have flipped in that moment. But that's pretty crazy.
Do you find yourself? Did you change the way you practice at all? That one specific scenario. I mean, is that now a in bold print when that's on the practice schedule to defend the Hail Mary, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you know, we practice that weekly in the game scenarios, offense, defense, kicking game. We practice at the end of the week. And so when those moments arise, you're prepared. We practiced it no different the very next week. We didn't change. And we ended up in a couple other situations similar late in the year, where people, you know, because we were 6-1 in one-score games. So it wasn't like we were just blowing people out each week. And so we ended up kind of back in a similar spot twice later in the year, and did not change how we prepared it, did not change how we practiced it, really kept to the same plan, maybe taught it a little cleaner, a little better, hopefully, and guys hopefully listen a little better or cleaner. But anytime something like that happens, you do reevaluate, are we doing this the right way? Well, we've got about 30 clips of the same exact situation working the right way over the years. And so didn't change it, but definitely did not shy away from it either. You know, I think sometimes people like, you don't want to take the Band-Aid off of a wound that hurts. And I'm like, hey, look, we're going to do it. It's Thursday. It's what we do. We're doing it again. And so didn't change how we practiced it, and really didn't overemphasize it either. Just kind of kept addressing it like we always do.
Listen, we talk all the time about how competitive top to bottom the Sun Belt is. I'm always fascinated from the end of the bowl game to your first game. How much of pre-scouting do you and your staff start doing for next year, and you start trying to get ready so it's easy installation when you get to the season? Because you look at your schedule, and you talked about 6-1 in one-score games. You look at your schedule, and it looks like you'll have a boatload of those again. When do you start watching game planning and start not installing, but game planning with your staff for the upcoming schedule?
Yeah, in the offseason, you're always retooling yourself and identifying strengths, weaknesses, areas to continue to improve, things that you did well also. But you do look ahead to opponents you're going to play throughout this year coming up. Enough people change personnel, especially this day and age with the transfer portal and those sort of things. Roster turnover is so much greater than it used to be. So now maybe teams are not quite the exact same as they were the year before. We really put a bigger emphasis on like the first 2 to 3 games. The first 3 opponents, you can probably predict that some of what they did last year is the best you have to go on. You know, when you get into week 5, 6, 7, 8, we have an idea of what those teams are schematically, structurally, and personnel wise. But at the same time, by the time you get to that game, you're going to have enough new information on them that I don't overvalue stuff that was last year's information. I'm a huge believer in, man, we spend 90% of the time on ourselves. We do look at what we got to play against. We scout our opponents, obviously, and clearly we spend plenty of time on that. But I'm a big believer that if you take care of your own house, if your guys are prepared and detailed in what we're doing, that's what matters most. You know, an old adage that I learned from a guy I worked for a long time ago was when everything's going wrong in a game, who are you? And knowing yourself is more important than knowing your opponent. And so we spend probably a lot more time on ourselves, but we do first 2 or 3 opponents this summer. We'll spend a decent amount of time kind of digging in on what do they look like.
We froze up with Coach there on the connection there, either on our part or his part. We'll try to get him back here when he unfreezes in just a second. In the meantime, part of our show being brought to you by our friends at Slice Pizza. Great place to slide by for lunch or dinner today, LT.
Yeah, local pizza, local ingredients created by my late friend Jeff Pajaya. His brothers continue the legacy. Jason and Chris, you'll see them on site. 4 different locations. The original in Lakeview, one in Vestavia right down the street from us here, one in Montevallo, and now Crestline Park. Again, the best specialty pizzas out there. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Coach, we got you back, I think, buddy.
Hey, well, thank goodness Adam Prendergrass, our SID, isn't here, because if not, I would have probably seen y'all the next time you wanted to talk to
He's Coach Jon Sumrall, at Coach Jon Sumrall on Twitter, Troy's head football coach. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. The older I get, the more cognizant I am of the fact, Coach, that I look forward to big events and wish away the day till you get to that big event. And I'm curious, a successful coach like yourself, how do you approach, like, we're all September 2nd could be here tomorrow when you're playing Stephen F. and college football starting. I'd be thrilled. But then I got this fun summer. I mean, do you wish away the days to get to football season?
No, I don't actually. I love the off season. I love the process of building individuals each and every day to be better. I'm kind of like no different than I set out like deep down when I watched that Hail Mary play against App. I love the mundane summer workout days. Like I like spending time around our team. This Wednesday, we'll have a big like slip and slide day in the stadium and an ice cream truck. And those things, I love that stuff. I love the season too now. And I like putting the ball down and playing games. But there's really, I find great joy in being in the moment of just getting to be around our guys and not looking too far out in advance. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nights I get ready to put my head to bed and I start thinking about, all right, how are we going to make sure we're ready for certain scenarios of a game and our team be ready for things that we're going to be presented with and things that are going to maybe look different on our team this year, strengths and weaknesses. But the off-season stuff, man, January to July, I love those times and moments of seeing individuals grow, position groups grow, sides of the ball improve and adapt. So I really like the phase we're in right now. Early September, it'll be here quick. But I currently need all the time we can get to make sure we're ready for when it comes because we're not ready to play today.
Well, I don't know the last time a team won 12 games and ended up ranked that scored 18 or less in 6 games. And your defense obviously carried you guys. How much more consistent does this offense have to be to continue to build on what you guys did last year?
Yeah, we're gonna look different offensively. You know, last year our offensive staff probably at times laughed because I'd walk in, I'd be like, "Hey, can y'all score 17 points this week and not turn the ball over?" and they'd say, "Well, yeah, we think so." And I'm like, "Just do that and we'll win." I felt really confident in what we had defensively. You know, we really had a lot of veteran, experienced guys that had high football IQs last year. Right now, you look at our defense, and we got great-looking athletes that have good length and are very impressive physically, but we lost 6 starters off of last year's team. And so 5 or 6, depending on how you count it. But we've got a lot of production to replace defensively and offensively. We are going to be different. I think you have to identify each season, what is your formula for that team to be successful? And last year we knew the formula to win games could be play maybe sort of just grimy, tough, old school phone booth football. And we felt like we could find ways to win games if we did that. This year we know we probably need to open things up offensively a little bit more. That doesn't mean we don't want to be physical at the line of scrimmage and continue to play the game. well there and run the ball well. But we are embracing probably more of playing what a fan would consider aesthetically a prettier game of football. I like winning. I don't really care what the score is. It could be 35-34 or 5-4, and I'll be happy.
Well, we've told you a couple of times now how much we enjoy your style, your interviews, and you won 12 straight. You won a conference championship. Did the agent call you last year and said, hey, this I don't want names or anything, but this program's interested, they're putting out feelers? Obviously, you probably became a pretty hot name last year, right?
Yeah, I don't know all that. I mean, I think when success comes, attention comes positively, and people may call. I honestly didn't get anywhere with even thinking about anything other than building the 2023 version of Troy football. And not to say that there was or wasn't a phone call, but it didn't get very far with me because, I got 4 young kids. I'm from the state of Alabama. I love this state. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to die in Troy, Alabama. I don't know that, but I do know that we're very, very happy where we are. And man, I love Troy University. I love this community. I left here as an assistant coach, and we came back because of the experience we had here last. And this is a special place. Football matters here. There's a lot of places that may consider themselves quote unquote bigger, that I don't think football matters as much as it does to the university here and the community here. And so I love this place. It's a tremendous fit with who I am and what I'm about and what our family's about. There were phone calls made. I'm sure they were. Did they get very far with me? No.
Well, you definitely paid your dues to get where you are now, and you've been a lot of different stops. Did you have more fun living in San Diego or New Orleans?
Mm-hmm. Well, I had San Diego they were both fun. San Diego, I was single in for a little while. Now, my wife, she knows that. And so I had a good time living in San Diego as a single guy.
Expensive though, right?
Golly, the sunshine tax is high, brother. But it hardly ever rains. It's, the climate there makes you want to, like I run every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's more between 3 and 5 miles. That makes you want to run like 9 miles just to go enjoy how pretty the landscape is. But loved it there. Moved to New Orleans and I put on like 40 pounds in like 4 months. So I was still exercising, but in New Orleans, they put sauce on top of sauce on the food. And so both those places were fun to live. Both fun parts of our journey to where we are now, but had tremendous experience at both those places. University of San Diego was one of my favorite coaching experiences. It's a 1AA non-scholarship football program. You might have, 4,000 to 6,000 fans show up at a game. And I was like a 27-year-old defensive coordinator. And I thought I knew football, and I didn't know left from right, but had a blast there. Both places, both experiences helped shape me to where I am today.
Well, he is at Troy today, the Troy Trojans football coach, Jon Sumrall, with us. Coach, we always appreciate the time. I know it is a busy time, even though it's the offseason. Thanks for making a little time for us. We love talking with you.
Thank you all. I appreciate you. Anything I can ever do, just holler.
You got it. Thank you, Coach. Take care. That is Coach Jon Sumrall with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. We say it every time he's on.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm one of those fan bases, his name comes up, I Google him, and I come across our interviews with him, I'm like, I want that guy today. Oh, my God.
If I'm an AD and I interview him, I want that guy. And that's the sad thing for Troy. I mean, it's good that you have enough success that your coach gets another job, but I'll be shocked if, again, they win 10 or 11 games and he doesn't get a bigger job.
And to your point that he's just who he is. And I think when you're authentic, that resonates with fans and with employers. And if you're authentic and you win, it's the best situation to be in. There's nothing fake about that guy because he was flat out honest. If our SID was not standing here with me, you'd have talked to me the next time you talked to me because I wasn't gonna hit the link and come back with you guys.
Well, I love the fact that he's like, if Appalachian State doesn't win on that Hail Mary, we might only win 7 games.
7-5.
And, normally a team will take a nosedive after a moment like that. And you just wonder, like, I think this guy's going to have a ton of success. He's 40 years old, so he's got a good 20, 25 years of coaching left, maybe even more when you start to look at the Nick Sabans and the Mac Browns of the world. But I wonder if this is going to be that moment he goes back to. If he ends up being, at one day a top 10, top 15 like coach, the one moment in my career that changed everything was a loss.
Bobby says, I'm looking forward to Sumrall being Auburn's next head coach someday. Hugh's not close to retirement, Robbie. I expect some success for Hugh. But meanwhile, on the other side of the state.
Wow, Jim.
Our show being brought to you by our friends at New Life Art. They bring you Rockstar's viewing menu every day. We'll hear what Rockstar is watching tonight after you tell us about New Life Art.
Yeah, artist Daniel Moore has just announced his next masterwork in oils. The Legacy Continues. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting. The Crimson Legacy features iconic moments, memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute, sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order your print or canvas of The Legacy Continues from New Life Art. Special pre-publication pricing through July 15th. You can get Dad this. Just get him a still shot of that. Tell him it's on order, and he's going to get it later this summer. It'd be a great Father's Day gift. Go to DanielMooreArt.com. That's DanielMooreArt.com.
I will tell you, I'm 3 episodes in to Silo.
I'm 2 in,
and I love it.
Oh, I think it's really good.
I love it. It's got a little Lost feel to it, without being too out there, I guess, but I like it a lot.
It's got a lost feeling, and I'm trying to remember because, like, when I turned it on and started watching the first episode, I was like, I kind of know what's going on. I don't know if you felt that. Like,
kind of feel like what's going on.
Yeah, but it's been interesting through 2 episodes. I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's well, tell me in the break what you think. Well, don't tell me.
Well, again, I go back to Snowpiercer, the train movie.
I never watched one episode of that.
Well, the movie's better. Don't watch the show. Watch the movie.
Dystopian, futuristic society living in one spot because the elements of the atmosphere you are unlivable.
Yeah.
I think this is going that direction.
Yeah, but it's a well acted, some familiar faces in it, and I've loved it so far. And just good stuff. What are you watching tonight, Rocky?
7 p.m. on Starz Encore Action. Before Queen Latifah did it, Denzel Washington did it. It's The Equalizer, the original with Hopper in it. Plays a bad Boston
You think
cop.
Denzel's a little more believable than Queen Latifah? Or
I have not given. I know it's still on, but I still have not watched an episode of her.
Really?
Either.
You have not?
I've skipped it.
I'm reminded it's on during the NFL season.
CBS. And then 9:15 on Discovery, Class Action Park. Do you guys remember this? I look back at the legendary but dangerous water adventure park based in New Jersey in the 80s and 90s. It was known for its high-risk thrills and its laid-back approach to safety. Do you guys remember Class Action?
No, I do not.
No, I don't.
It's like a laid-back approach to safety.
But that's always my fear. Like these carnivals that
they're run by 13-year-olds.
Or the carnivals that roll in, and
like
set
the
up
county fair.
Yeah, that sets up in your elementary school's parking lot. It's got the swing that swings around at 100 miles an hour, held together by basically 2 chains, and you're in a seat. And one of those things come unlatched, and you just go flying through the air.
So when I was a kid, Rockstar, the Calhoun County Fair used to roll around, right?
Oh, I bet that was secure.
And there was one. I think they called it the Zipper. It was like a car on each end, and it would flip.
Oh
right?
Yeah.
And the guy that ran it, Rockstar, knew exactly where he could stand, where it would almost hit him every time. And he'd start it up, and he'd stand there, and you think, "Oh my God, he's going to get hit!" And then you realize this guy does this in every county fair he goes to.
So I guess he waited to start his meth or drinking till after the
I don't
show.
know, but he knew right where he could stand
until he makes a John Sterling mistake one day, and then you got a video in your hands.
What are your thoughts on safety? Laid back.
Yeah, we're laid back on it. Hey, Rockstar, people are texting me already saying it is actually worth watching.
Which one?
Class Action Park.
Yeah, I'm showing you a video. I gotta get it first, so just give me a second.
And Game 5 tonight. Nuggets probably wrap up their first ever NBA championship.
Nothing screams "watch me" like an NBA Finals game where the point spread's 9.
Hey, and
7:30, right before the new episode of Desperate Housewives.
I know
what's going on in Wisteria Lane after the finals.
We talk about some dumb stuff here. We say some dumb stuff, but I heard this morning on ESPN when I was getting a workout watching those guys, and they were talking about can Denver start a dynasty?
Oh, come on, man.
Like,
Yeah.
shit, they hadn't even won their
Yeah,
first one
let's let them
yet.
win that one.
Yeah, wait till after they win their second one.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at least 366 days away from starting that discussion. All right, so this is some video from the trailer.
No, this is just what it reminds me of. This guy sets up his own camera. He operates this little slingshot when it's like a thing that just drops you.
So this has nothing to do with
No,
the documentary. Just an example of how people
This is just a compilation of what this guy does. This is a guy who loves his job.
Hold on, ladies. There's a knot in the chain. Let me fix it.
Total setup.
Guys, my dummy. I'm so dumb. I forgot to put the shoulder straps on. Hold on.
What a dick.
Come on, guys. Your shoulder straps. They're right behind you. You gotta pull them on down.
I would climb
Hold
back
on,
up
guys.
there after I changed
Show
my
me.
pants because
Yeah.
I pissed in it and cussed the guy out.
It ain't got no gas in it. Hold on.
It's 2 minutes.
Oh my God! Something wrong with the thingamadoodle. Let me check it out real quick. Something's wrong with your seatbelt. I gotta come check it.
I mean, what if she starts fiddling with the seatbelt?
Yeah, or if somebody just has a cardiac.
Makes the ride much better, right?
Sorry, guys. Something wrong with the shoulder straps.
Reach up there right behind you. You start reaching, it's gone? Are you kidding me?
And then all of a sudden you're dropping. Oh.
How has this guy not got sued?
Dunaway's always wanting to sue people. You're the most litigious person I know.
No, that guy is.
I wasn't that way until we
obviously-
started working across the hall.
If I was on a jury.
Not one dime.
Not a dime.
Not one dime. All right. That's what Rockstar is watching tonight. Brought to you by our friends at New Life Art. So you're telling us we can get that for Father's Day and we'll get a little print, a little card that we can say, hey, this is it.
I don't know if they'll give you the card. Probably. I'm
print
just
it out
saying that you
yourself.
could just say, hey, look, this is what it looks like.
This is what's coming for you. That's really a good idea. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Conquer whatever summertime activities you want to take part in, all while wearing the perfect shoes. Our fit specialists take precise measurements of your feet and analyze how you walk and run so that your shoes fit perfectly. And we haven't forgotten about the kids either. We'll get them equipped for summer camp or whatever adventures they take on. Stop by the New Balance Birmingham store today, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today.
If you have water or fire damage to your home or business, DryTech is here to help. They work for the customer, not the insurance company. They respond quickly, within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They have 5 crews ready to go 24/7, built to go on the job when it happens. DryTech has 65-star Google reviews, so call DryTech, not the insurance company. Find more online at mydrytech.com.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
Before LT tells you about Dr. B remodeling his hair and making it look modern and in tune, they're thinking about remodeling their stadium in Jacksonville, and there's a twist to the story, Brown.
So if you were the Jags, I mean, think about the state of Florida's got a significant amount of football stadiums, right?
They do.
Yeah. And if you were the Jags and you're like, okay, we're going to be displaced from our stadium for a little while.
By the way, I don't think they got any good ones, though.
They may not, but we're going to.
I would personally go to Camping World in Orlando.
In Orlando, not a terribly far drive.
Nope.
Yeah, it's sort of remodeled. It's still dumpy, but it'll give us a chance to maybe build up in a major city without a pro sports, maybe a few extra fans.
And if you had to, if you're like, hey, only an NFL facility, you could maybe work a deal with the NFL where you're the off week at Tampa. When Tampa's on the road, you get to play there.
Yeah. Last time they played in Gainesville, didn't they? No, they didn't have a team yet.
They didn't have a team yet. They played in the Gator Bowl when they first started. And when they renovated the Gator Bowl, I don't know where they played.
Maybe it was Florida Field. Because remember, the Bears
I don't
played.
remember that.
Bears played all the way in Champaign for a couple
they
of years.
did. Yeah, but Florida Field will be an option. I mean, even Tallahassee. I mean, that's a bit of a haul from Jacksonville, I guess, but Tallahassee's an option. Nope. The Jaguars and officials from Daytona International Speedway will meet this week about the Jags playing at the infield in Daytona.
Is this a one-off or
No,
the entire season?
This is where they would play during the construction.
Can I just tell you, as far as good ideas go, that is not one of them.
Yeah, this is up there with the Heat getting Conor McGregor to knock out their mascot.
Because the game in Bristol between Tennessee and Virginia Tech, almost 50-50 split between campuses, wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. And that's because it's a short track, and it's already a bowled stadium.
Right.
So it almost looks like a stadium anyway.
I thought that was a cool one-off. That was a cool one-off with them.
We'll never
and
want to see it
Virginia Tech.
again.
No, I would not. But they're going to meet this week, and they say there would be 45 to 50,000 seats that would have the visibility necessary for them to sell tickets there.
I've said it before. I'm not a big fan of the city of Jacksonville. I don't think you are.
No,
so, like,
not as a professional sports city.
Well,
no.
you have gone from Jacksonville to Daytona. Like, that's an even worse city.
Playing in the infield. Now, this would be not actually in the infield. It would be in the grass part that's kind of in the tri-oval area.
Yeah, it's between the pit road and the actual track.
Yeah, so I guess
actually tri-oval I think is only at
Talladega. Okay,
yeah.
but it's in that grassy area where they do the burnout after the.
Yeah.
So they're saying just imagine the 50-yard line would be at the start-finish line, which unlike Talladega, where that's down near turn one, this is kind of in the center.
Yeah, right in the middle of the track.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that's apparently they're meeting. The Jags officials are meeting with Daytona, according to multiple reports now.
Well, I mean,
yeah, that's only one option. They say other options are Gainesville and Orlando.
Yeah,
it seemed like better options.
Far better options.
How many times have we had meetings up here that we knew we got to go to this meeting, but there's no way in hell we're going to play in Daytona. Dr. B, though, when we met Dr. B, we knew there was a way in hell that LT could look better. And my God, he
transitions on this one commercial.
He rolled back in and does look good.
The hair's getting thicker, there's no doubt. When I started to thin out, asked around, Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone said. Went to see Dr. B. After my second analysis a little over a month ago, my hair has more than doubled in thickness. Dr. B offers Census Transdermal Infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary as Dr. Beckenstein can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. T3hair.net for more information. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. Call today, 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
A couple more things to do in this segment. But first off, congratulations to the Birmingham Stallions. They come back, beat Houston yesterday. And the USFL's Stallions getting ready to celebrate. They're the defending champions. And you can see them here as they find out they are officially the first team into the USFL playoffs. So the Stallions are going back 7-2, best record in the league, one more week of the regular season.
Dynasty?
And the Stallions are back in. Technically, they're closer to the dynasty than the Nuggets are.
Walter's best was Skip Holtz. I mean, I don't know what it will do for him, but I do think he has maybe changed his image as a coach a little bit. I think a lot of people thought Skip Holtz is a 500 football coach.
Is he making enough money for this to be a full-time job and not have to like chase down Division I again or anything like that?
I think he's got a little money. I think he's making six figures plus, and he when we have him on, he's a very likable guy.
I like Skip.
He seems very content where he is this point in his career.
It's changed my feeling about Skip
Yeah, me
Holtz.
too.
Not only just talking to him, the chances we've had to talk to him, but being able to hear him and see how he manages a game and everything, and just watching him out-coach other teams, I'm like, this guy's really a good offensive mind. I think differently of Skip Holtz than I did before he took this job.
I agree with Volfan 205. He would have been better than Dilfer.
At UAB?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was interested.
I don't know if he was either.
I don't know the answer to that. I do think there was some interest in UAB in pursuing that. I mean, he would make more money at UAB, but
you would have gotten, again, like not a great track record with his Louisiana Tech. Where else was he? East Carolina?
You'd also have to work a lot harder.
Well,
at
that's what I
UAB.
was going to say. Money is not everything. And we talked about that with Bob Stoops. Could Bob Stoops have some bigger jobs than whatever XFL franchise he's coaching? Yeah, he could. But Stoops is probably making $500,000 to $1 million to coach that that XFL franchise. What do they play, a 10-game regular season? And then he's done.
Yeah, Volfan adds USF was bad for him.
It was.
It was. La Tech wasn't bad. USF was bad for him.
Man, USF is kind of a similar job to UAB when you think about it.
It's a tough rebuild there right now. But the Stallions are back. What's crazy, we're talking about getting rid of divisions in all of the major colleges, and we'll have that major college conferences. We'll have that next year in 2024. There's a reason why in the USFL, the South Division, everybody's above 500. Everybody's got a winning record, and only two of those teams will make the playoffs. In the North, everybody's got a losing record, but two of those teams will make the playoffs.
I mean, somebody from your division made the playoffs last year. It was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, they had a winning record.
Yeah, but Tom Brady's not walking through the doors in the Northern Division.
I got it.
Not bringing a little TV ratings with him.
I'm just saying there's always in the NFL like that one division where it's just cutthroat, and then there's another division where somebody's got to win this division to make the playoffs.
Somebody's got to win this division. All right, USFL, congratulations there to Skip Holtz and the whole crew there, and they're back to the playoffs. You can get those tickets, theusfl.com. It'll be a home game at Protective Stadium, from what I understand. So get those tickets, and let's see if we can pack it out and make it a bigger crowd than the Legion FC last time they played a big game last Wednesday. Get into the 20s, 30s, and get some home field advantage before they head to the championship game again. One more thing to get to here in this segment. John Lunsford is out in Las Vegas trying to represent and get us all the way to the World Series of Poker. Has anybody checked in? We got pictures of Luntz, but is he winning? Is he losing?
I think he's out.
I saw one.
What do you base that on?
No, I think I saw a post where it said at least I got my name on the graph or something, but I saw $0 next to him. So
he made the website. Standings on the website. So, thousands of people entered in this thing. But can we get a phone call, Taylor? Somebody text Lunsford. What time is it there? 8:38? Hell, he's not up. Would you be up at 8:38 in Vegas?
I may be coming in.
Yeah, okay. Putting the trophy back on the counter?
I bet he's at breakfast right now.
You think he's at breakfast now?
He's not one that's going to
stay
out
wait,
late.
you want me to text him and ask him what?
Yeah, just say, I thought he was entering multiple tournaments, and I saw the one you saw, but I don't think it was the final one yet. I think he was leading in.
I've got a feeling that he's out, and now he's just doing the tourist stuff.
We saw Jerry Seinfeld, where he texted a picture of his box seats right next to the soundboard. He said Brown said always sit next to the soundboard.
Well,
I'm not sure that's Brown's philosophy on comedy, but it is on music.
Well, that's a 100% Laurel thing. She is a Seinfeld fanatic. I'm sure he just
went along.
That's him going to Barbie.
He's a good husband. He goes along with a lot of stuff that I would have to shut down.
He is a good husband. So we'll find out. We'll give you an update on Lunsford in the World Series of Poker. He was in it longer. That tournament, he was in it longer than Mincy was.
Yeah.
But I think that was sort of prelims getting up to the big one. But I may be wrong.
Well, I've texted him. We'll see. We'll get a response here in a minute.
All right.
If he's awake.
Vegas, I'm a fan, but I can't go often. I'm about to go on a golfing trip in July to Cherokee, North Carolina, where they actually have brick and mortar casinos.
I've been in that casino before. I won like $365 in penny slots.
Did you really?
Yep.
I've never played
my
slots.
first question would be, why are you playing penny slots?
Because we were walking out of the casino. Somebody got up from, it wasn't penny slots. I think it was dime or quarter or something like that.
Somebody probably had been grinding for hours.
Somebody got up, and I literally said out loud, I don't know much about casinos, but I know enough to know that when somebody gets up and they haven't just won, the machine's primed, and everybody with me is like, oh, whatever. So I drop in it might have been a nickel. I think it was nickel slots. Drop in a nickel and won $365.
On the first pull?
Yep.
Wow. I know dudes
you know
that
who will
play
not have that luck at Cherokee?
You.
I know dudes that play $100 slots.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how quick you can lose thousands and thousands of dollars.
Maggie already, we were talking about my allowance already last night on what I can spend in the casino, because she doesn't assume, as I'm sure none of you do, nobody assumes that I will win anything.
Not can I ask another question?
Yes.
I know what's coming.
Who brings home the bacon?
Yep. Knew that was up.
We both do now. She's
all right. So Lunsford said, I made a deep run day one, got bounced, just missed the money, had enough, so I didn't enter the second one I was going to do. Been living the high life since, eating and entertaining.
So he's done.
Yeah.
So he didn't enter the second one.
He didn't enter the second one. He said he had enough out of the first
feel
one.
I got from his post.
Yeah, I was done, so let's go have fun.
I thought he was going to play in two, so he's in and out. There you go.
I do like Vegas, but I can't remember the last time I've been for more than 48 hours.
Well, this trip I'm doing in July is going to be 36 holes of golf, and then everyone else will go to a casino. There's a good chance that 36 morning tee time, afternoon tee time with a nice lunch in between. There's a good chance that Jimmy America will have a nice dinner and a bottle of wine and call it a night and get ready for the next round of golf. So the casino may see me, but it may not take any of Jimmy's money.
36 holes.
Yeah.
On back-to-back days.
That's my kind of trip right there.
And on the drive home, we're stopping in
The
Atlanta.
guy who plays 5 days a week is going to go on vacation to do what?
To play golf.
Play golf.
Well, it's a different course. It's better courses.
And it's a guy trip.
Yeah.
I mean, look, go surf, go look at the pyramids in Egypt. I mean, don't go play golf.
Well, when Maggie got
because he plays golf all the time.
Yeah, but it's different courses. It's beautiful courses.
Well, I mean, follow along with me here. Maggie asked this question because she came home, and I had not planned on playing yesterday. And one of my buddies who had a good round on Saturday said, I'm feeling good. I'm going to get back out this afternoon. Anybody want to play? And I said, I'm in. So when I walked in, Maggie had a project due. I walked in, and I was like, hey, instead of grilling those steaks tonight, I'm going to do them tomorrow night. And she goes, let me guess. You're going to go play golf. And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, what is this, like 7 of the last 9 days? I said, 7 of the last 9 days, exactly. And
are you any good yet?
No, I suck. And she said,
that's hard to suck when you play that much.
Well, no, it's not. I get good, and then I get bad again, and in and out of the slot. So she said, why all of a sudden are you playing so much? And I'm like, baby, honest to goodness, there's going to come a time in a few years that I won't be able to play in such good health. I mean, I'm not young, but I feel good right now.
I think you got plenty of golf left in you.
I don't know. Not at this where I feel this good.
Okay.
I mean, eventually, there are some old guys out there who are pulling it around the track a little bit, but there will come a day you won't be able to do things like this. So I'd rather do this now, and hell, I'll catch up on shows that I'm not watching right now another time. I'm going to get out and move while I can move. Is that stupid? Brown, is that stupid?
Hey, whatever you like. I don't think anything, if you've got a passion in life, then you should do it.
Yeah,
I don't understand that, but you don't understand some of the things
I don't think
do.
it's my passion. Yeah. I enjoy being outside.
It's got to be a passion. You play that much.
I think the challenge is in golf, you always think going, this is going to be the day where I get one shot better or two shots better. There's just that, and you don't always, but that's the drive.
If it was a passion, Brown, I would go to the driving range. I would take lessons. I would work. I'd buy better clubs. You just like being outside. I just like being outside, and I don't have a yard anymore, but I hated yard work.
Yeah, but you got good dog. You can go to a dog park outside. You've got breweries all over the place.
And
you don't take your dog. You can just go hang out and have a couple of cold beers.
Yeah, I don't like laying out by the pool. I do that for about an hour. Then I'm like, well, this, I've listened.
That's surprising. I see pictures of your feet all the time by the pool.
Yeah, taken in the first hour.
1 hour.
Yeah,
we got to get the picture.
I'm good for about an hour.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's weird or not, but that's what I'm doing on my vacation. So I get what Lunsford's doing. He got enough of his poker. He was excited to go for the poker, and now he's enjoying Seinfeld, the food, and his time with his wife.
You guys ever seen Seinfeld?
The comedian?
No, I've not seen his show. Have you seen it, Rockstar? You're a big fan.
I've never seen him before. Yeah. I love the show. I'm not a big fan of his
I didn't really care for his stand-up that they showed during the show.
I thought it was so boring.
Yeah, I love the show.
It's more Larry David.
Yeah.
Larry David's the big man of that show.
Yeah, I don't understand his comedy either, but I love the show. Worked great on the TV show. We're back in a moment on TNR, the show being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Listen, Father's Day is coming up. This is easy, quick, and don't be afraid to ask for this, man. Sometimes a good massage or anything else you get from Woodhouse Day Spa is perfect for the guys.
Yeah, I was going back and forth with Casey this morning at Woodhouse Day Spa. They're doing renovations right now. This place, it's already beautiful. It's going to be even better now. But this Father's Day, treat that special dad to the gift of luxury from Birmingham's best day spa. It's the Woodhouse Day Spa, located at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order Dad that gift online 24/7. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Gift card, simple solution. Buy them 24/7 online, or just stop by the Woodhouse Day Spa at the Summit Shopping Centers. Tell Casey and Stuart, the guys from the Next Round, sent you.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
Did you tweak your shoulder putting up Christmas decorations? Injure your elbow shooting hoops in the backyard? Or hurt your knees getting up from the couch at halftime? Let 2023 be the year precision sports medicine and orthopedics gets your life back on track. Orthopedic care is better together. Find your provider today. Call 205-512-3885. That's 205-512-3885. Or visit precisionsportsortho.com/2023.
When the weather gets warm in the Deep South, there's nothing better than spending your days outside. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. When you're outside, there are a couple of things you want to be certain about. Number one, your yard looks the best it can. And number two, you're not always swatting away those mosquitoes. My friends at Wayne's take care of both those things for me. And Wayne's is celebrating their 50th year. So right now, get $50 off your pest, your termite, your lawn, and your mosquito services. Visit callwaynes.com or call 866-WAYNES-1.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
Summer is here. School is out, and that means moving season. If you need help buying a home or selling your home, you need Holly Mack Wilson. Let Holly Mack Wilson do for you what she did for 70 people last year. Find you the home of your dreams.
She is a professional who helps you with every step of the buying and selling process. Holly Mack Wilson will help you find a home, negotiate the best price, and help you get your home ready to sell. She helps you get the most out of the house you are selling and helps you get into the home of your dreams at the best possible price. Holly Mack Wilson can help you find a home anywhere in Alabama, from Huntsville to Mobile. So call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446, or check her out online at hollymachomes.com. Then sit back and enjoy your summer. Who knows? She may even help you plan your summer vacation. That's Holly Mack Wilson at 205-901-9446 or hollymachomes.com. Holly Mack Wilson, your trusted and professional travel planner and Keller Williams agent.
We'll get back into sports coming up at the top of the hour. Some college football stuff to talk about and some NFL moves going on. Braves did win 2 of 3 from the Nationals this weekend. They're still in first place, 3.5 games ahead of the Marlins there. Tampa Bay took 2 of 3 from Texas. Boston took 2 of 3 from the Yankees. And the A's have won 5 straight. This will be part of that movie where they bring the owner who wants the team to move to Las Vegas in and start pulling out pieces of her clothes, right? On that little cardboard cutout. The A's have won 5 straight. Break them up.
And they're still 33 games below 500.
I don't think they're coming back.
I don't think they're coming back either. We'll get back to the football version of sports at the top of the hour. But in the lobby, when we were out there chit-chatting, Taylor brought up something that I want to get everybody's thoughts on. It really could be a good Mystery Fifth Hour topic, but I want to bring it up here after I tell you about Wayne's. We're celebrating 50 years with our friends at Wayne's. We appreciate those folks so much for being partnered with us for so many years, even in the transition over here to our new format. Just fantastic folks. Their website is callwaynes.com, callwaynes.com, 866-WAYNES1. 866-WAYNES1. If you're not a Wayne's customer now, really consider the money you're giving to someone else to take care of pest prevention, mosquito protection, lawn care service, termite bond. If it's not Wayne's, I can't give them 2 thumbs up. Wayne's is the people I say are the best in the business, and they've done that for 50 years now, and they want to help you save some money. You can save $50, $100, stack up their services, $50 off each one of those when you use our promo code, TNR. TNR, the promo code at callwaynes.com or 866-WAYNES1. It's for new customers, but also existing customers. So anybody can use that promo code, TNR, to save $50 on any of the services. The lawn care service and mosquito protection, tremendous this time of year, all the time. Pest control, termite protection. Save money now. Promo code TNR at callwaynes.com or 866-WAYNES1. So LT was talking about a subject I won't get into out there, but he brought up a name, and Lance mentioned a name, and Taylor was like, oh, yeah, that was the first R movie I ever saw. Mm-hmm. Man on Fire was her first R movie.
Was Lil T's first R movie?
Yeah, that she ever saw.
She doesn't remember one thing about it. Now, Lil T Taylor does not like movies at all. Like, she doesn't have the attention span. She said that she's just not into movies at all.
I understand her, and I don't watch a lot of movies myself now that going to theaters is not as much of a thing anymore. I'm into series that are about 1 hour, and sometimes I'll watch 3 in a row, but I like the series.
I'm with you. I like an hour and a half to hour 45 movie. Once it gets past that,
never date somebody that didn't like movies.
Oh, really?
Just because I like movies so much. So
I should say I'm off the table already.
Yeah, you and Jim can't date.
Yeah. No, but you couldn't. I mean, Maggie must like the outdoors, right?
She does, but she's busy. I mean, she's got a full-time job.
She likes Jim being in the outdoors.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Do you remember your first R-rated movie?
Look, I've told the story before. My mom used to take me to, and that's why I'm so jacked up in the head. I saw, The Exorcist when I was like 3 or 4. The Shining, The Omen, Amityville Horror. I saw all these things early on. So it was one of those.
My parents were 16. See, I was thinking Porky's is probably the first R-rated movie I went to without my parents, Jody.
Does not hold up, by the way.
That's for me as well. But my first one probably was a movie called Walking Tall.
Yeah.
The original.
Buford Pusser, man.
The original. And
Joe Don Baker.
There used to be a theater where what I would call Maylene, Alabama is now.
Was it a drive-in?
Drive-in.
Yeah.
And my parents, remember, were only 16 when they had me. They were teenagers. So I think, I couldn't,
Is it possible you were conceived at a drive-thru or drive-in?
I don't know, but the movie was violent, gunshots, him beating the crap out of people with a stick.
Yeah.
And some nudity. And I remember the nudity part and him hitting people with a stick.
Yeah.
Sitting in
Axe handle.
Sitting in the front seat, and I'm pretty sure my 20-something parents were in the back seat.
Keep your eyes on the movie, son.
Watching the movie.
Keep watching the carnage and those titties.
But I think that was the first. R-rated movie I saw was Walking Tall. But the first one I ever went to was Porky's. What about you, Brown? Do you remember your first R-rated movie?
I remember. This is going to tax my memory, and I cannot remember the name of the movie. And it's like one of those that's on the tip of my tongue, and I'll think of it before the show's over. I promise you.
Give me a couple of actors in it.
Oh, I wouldn't know that. But my parents borrowed a VHS of Fletch. And so for you kids out there, and Rockstar and Tyler may even be too young for this. So on a VHS, you could record at the best quality and it would hold 2 hours. You could record at a mid quality, it would hold 4 hours. Or if you really wanted to get as much on one tape as you could record at the worst quality and hold 8 hours. So I don't know if my parents realized that after Fletch, there was another movie on this VHS.
Oh, good.
And it was R-rated. And it probably had what year did Fletch come out?
Fletch came out in 1985.
So I would have been 8 or 9 years old at the time. And so this was taped off HBO. And whatever movie came on after that probably had some scenes, 8 or 9 year old me.
Yeah.
Risky Business?
No.
Red Shoe Diaries?
No. It's far from a name brand movie. I'll think of it in a minute. There's a. I can't even think of an actor that was in it. God, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Was it in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is when Fletch was popular.
Forrester says The Fly. Rockstar, do you remember your first R movie?
Oh, Seth Rundle. I saw The Fly a couple of times. His junk fell off.
It was a bad scene. I think mine that I remember was late night on like Cinemax was Jean-Claude Van Damme's Cyborg. It was really dark. And then the first movie I attended by myself that was R was Freddy's Dead in 3D. And
do you ever get run out of an R movie? I know you worked at Carmike, but I've gotten thrown out of R movies when we were like 14 or 15. We'd buy a ticket to the PG-13 and we'd go to the R, and then the ushers would come in with a flashlight and they'd be like, "Who are you with? Where are your parents?"
This was literally I went by myself to see Freddy's Dead, and it was in 3D, and it freaked me out because I heard two guys were drinking. There was an empty theater. There was like 2 or 3 guys drinking. I could have Kip-Tear beer bottles hitting the floor and them giggling. So they didn't get kicked out. I didn't either.
Greg from Pell City. Mine was The Exorcist, and I finally got over that crap a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Greg. I never saw it again.
Yeah.
Jeez, that bad.
Oh, my gosh, terrible. Based on
I've never seen it.
Wicked Roller, Red Shoe Diaries brings back so many memories as a kid watching late night Cinemax.
See, that's what happened to me is whatever came on the HBO after Fletch was on was the next movie on the VHS. My parents apparently just thought it ended with Fletch, but then there was the late night movie that came on after Fletch.
Yeah. God, there was some
so I watched
Lady
that one
Chatterley.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's the HBO versions of Red Shoes Diaries.
Yeah.
The new Manuel.
Emmanuel, that's it. Yeah.
Lady Chatterley didn't play around.
Yeah, she did not. She was
DTF.
She was friendly. All right. Rich Rodriguez with an interesting comment that LT unearthed. We'll get to that. He's also got 4 downs as we roll into the next hour here in the next round, being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports. Miami needing some success tonight to keep the NBA playoffs going. We've been waiting on Tyler Hero.
You're missing 21 points a game, and their 3 losses, they've scored 95 or less. They just don't have offense to keep up with Denver right now, and you're right. Tyler Hero being on the shelf has really, really hampered Miami. Hey, look, your favorite Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Provider is out there. Remember the number, 205-512-3885. The website, precisionsportsortho.com. Maybe you tweaked the shoulder putting something in the attic. You hurt the knee getting up from the couch at halftime. Let this be the year Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics gets your life back on track. Orthopedic care better together. Find your provider today. Again, 205-512-3885 or visit precisionsportsortho.com/2023.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeousa of Birmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied, in stock units only with approved credit. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country, just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, another hour on the show now. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar. Forrester, Tyler's pulling the role of Lunsford on the back row. Lunsford's little vacation. He'll be back with us later this week. And then Taylor Korn is handling everything social media. Remember, give us a thumbs up if you're watching us on YouTube. Like and subscribe wherever, and we appreciate you being with us on this Monday live show now. In the headlines, Alabama eliminated from the road to Omaha in the college baseball playoffs. 22-5 yesterday after a 5-4 loss in Game 1. Wake Forest, the number 1 team, is off to the World Series starting Saturday and Sunday in Omaha. Florida, number 2's out there. Number 5, LSU, giving the SEC at least 2 teams there. Number 7, Virginia is there, giving the ACC a couple of teams there. TCU and Oral Roberts have already booked. They were not seeded. Today, Tennessee and Southern Miss at 6 on ESPN2. Texas and Stanford 8 on ESPN. Heat and Nuggets going tonight, 7:30 on ABC. One more win from the Heat, and from the Nuggets, and they end up winning the series. The Braves, by the way, in action today against Detroit, who's on a horrible losing streak right now. So the Braves in Detroit, 5:40. That's one of those matchups on the road you don't see a lot of. I don't close my eyes. I don't see the Braves and the Tigers playing a lot in my head, right?
I can't picture. And the Braves are, with Charlie Morton on the hill, minus 215 on the road. That shows you how bad those Tigers are.
Minus 215. Yeah, the A's are hotter than a lot of people. The Tigers are colder than most people. And Andrew McCutchen, gotten old fairly quick, got his 2,000th hit yesterday. He's the 291st person ever to get 2,000 hits in a Major League Baseball
how many
career.
have got 2,000?
291.
I bet I can name them all.
I will bet against that.
McCutchen's so good.
He's been a really good player.
I mean, and
for a decade, basically.
Entire career in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Back in Pittsburgh. I think he
No,
left
he
a little
left.
bit. Yeah.
He left. Where did he go?
Where did he go?
Was it Colorado he went?
He left and then came back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's back in Pittsburgh, played there for many, many years during some bad years, was part of a little bit of a resurgence.
But he was an MVP, was he not?
Yep. And then he's back now, and they're still in first place, so good for Pittsburgh. That with Andrew, they're coming back in there.
Played for the Giants and the Yankees,
Giants
and Philadelphia,
Yankees.
and Milwaukee. Boy, he played for a lot of teams.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Giants, Yankees, Milwaukee, Philadelphia.
So technically more uniforms than Jerry Rice at the end, who seemed like he was going through them every month.
Boy, he's played a long time, though. I mean, his first year in the league was 2009, to put that in perspective.
Before we jump back to college football, Bazooka Gum back in the day. A fan or not a fan?
I like the jokes. You know, when you were a kid, you'd undo it and it had the cartoon and the jokes.
It got better, though. So early Bazooka was like hard.
Yeah.
That I don't even know.
It was
really
almost like
the
baseball
bubble gum
card
flavor.
gum.
Yeah. And then they got it better, and they started to dial in some different flavors and stuff. So it got better.
I like
dusty early.
I like the original, but it was hard to get going. Absolutely.
Yep.
Some pieces seem to be harder than the others. You'd get at the ballpark. Up for auction now. Not in bankruptcy, but they're being sold and they're being auctioned in the sale. Right now, the winning bid, $700 million. If you want to go buy Bazooka, you got more than $700 million to buy.
Boy, I tell you.
ROI on Bazooka Gum, it seems like.
I mean,
I don't know where we are in the gum.
I'd rather buy the...
I think it's a candy brand. It's not just the gum.
Oh, what else they got?
What else do they have, Rocky?
They do the ring pop, the push pop.
Oh, I like ring pop.
Bazooka rattlers, juicy drop pop. Gross.
You know the bush pop. The push pop. Yeah. Yep.
That was out of nowhere.
I know.
If you're selling that, Brownie, that's $700 million easy.
The push pop is good until. Do you remember the Astro Pop?
Yeah.
That's kind of what the push pop is. Did you guys have an Astro Pop at the ballpark?
I thought the push pop was
it was
like ice cream,
the
orange ice
sherbet.
cream.
No.
Okay.
Those were push-ups, right?
Those are push-ups.
push-ups.
Push pop is like you push up basically a cylindrical sucker.
Show me that again.
A cylindrical sucker. You push it up.
Okay. It's not what you were doing originally.
Yeah.
I just don't know what why would you just not get a regular sucker?
Well, this is bigger and there's more surface area. It's cylindrical, and it's basically a cylindrical ring pop is what it boils down to.
Okay, so the push pop is what we're talking about there?
Now, I tell you what, my little one wants all the time, Rockstar, is that juicy drop pop right there.
So gross. It's just like sugar. Just syrup sugar.
Yeah, but
I
boy,
liked
she
the
wants
ring
to
pop
buy 'em.
back in the day.
I did like a ring pop, too. The Astro Pop, we used to get those at Saks Youth Activities. Did y'all not have an Astro Pop?
Yeah, we had them at the ballpark.
I don't remember the Astro Pop.
I love the Astro Pop.
Long, it's multicolored.
Yeah, but it was triangular.
Was it?
Really? It was
Yeah,
triangle?
Google Astro Pop, Rockstar.
Was it a popsicle?
I
No,
thought,
it's a sucker.
candy, hard candy.
Yeah, it's hard candy.
I thought it looked like a rocket, Brown. I thought it was supposed to be like a rocket.
No, it's
I guess that's what I was thinking of. You call that a
triangular,
triangle, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think you could.
You think that's good for the teeth?
No, that's what I was going to say. You'd bite it with your back molars, and
then
it'd
you
get
could pull
stuck
it.
in them, and you'd have to pull it.
Damn, one Astro Pop's $3.95.
I'd pay it right now. I used to love those things.
Come on down to Hammond's.
Did you ever have one, Rocky?
I think so. I was never because what was that first flavor? The first flavor lemon. I'll get it pop up.
Yeah,
on banana.
I think lemon, lime, and cherry.
Nope, I'd go for the cherry.
Look, it says the iconic lollipop from the 1960s.
Oh, it's pineapple. Look at the flavor. It's pretty exotic. Cherry, passion fruit, and pineapple.
Yeah, I don't think that was the original.
I'll try that.
You think they've changed that up a little bit?
I think they fancied up the Astropop.
It was red, green, and yellow back in the day.
We don't even know what flavor it is.
Wait, what did you say the bid is right now? $700 million?
$700 million.
You could buy the Arizona Coyotes. Would you rather have the Coyotes or Bazooka?
Bazooka gum.
Well,
the Coyotes have been a loser from day one. I don't want to. I don't want to jump in there.
Yeah, one apparently would bring a lot more joy to Brown. I just love the original Bazooka. It was good. I mean, it's hard to get going.
I got to tell you, Rockstar, you have not sold me on $700 million
here's
for
the
this.
problem. Like, they got away from everything they did. Like, it was all about gum back in the day, and now it's...
Well, I mean, you have to diversify, right, in business?
I mean, they've got a gum wallet.
All right, let's get back into what's going on in the sports world after Brownie tells us about Tough Dog, the people that got in there and took a tough situation in his garage and made it a lot better.
They did, Jim. Tough Dog Coatings. They came to my house. These are just local Birmingham business guys that were looking to do something, basically to to help people out, to make a difference. And they're like, these garage coatings. They started looking at it like, we can do it better. We can do it better than it's being done right now, because as they did their research, they found out we can offer something that we could give a 15-year warranty to. It does not crack. It does not wear out like epoxy does. It is not yellow in sunlight. It exceeds OSHA ratings for anti-slip. More importantly, really, it just looks amazing. It's easier to keep clean than a normal garage floor when you get stains on it. It feels good to the feet. And I'll tell you just a side benefit for us. You may not experience the same benefit. It forced us to clean our garage out, and our garage just looks so much better. These garage floor coatings are beautiful. They just they turn your garage into a different room, basically. You could use them in basement floors, pool surrounds. They are just gorgeous. Here's the number to call if you want more on Tough Dog Coatings. 205-947-3639. That's 205-947-3639. Call Jared and Kabil at Tough Dog Garage Floors, and you can reach them at toughdoggaragebfloors.com. That's TUFF, toughdoggaragebfloors.com, or 205-947-3639.
All right. Rich Rod, LT came across this from Fan Nation, and who else, Lunsford? Who's this from here?
This is Forrester speaking.
Yeah, Lunsford's in Vegas.
I'm sorry, yeah. Forrester. I apologize.
So this is yesterday at JSU. Rich Rod speaking at the Alabama Sports Writers Convention.
And I do have to say, I've got a little something to do with this.
Oh, yeah? Is this going to excite me as a Jack State alum?
Okay, here we go.
Almost.
I have not heard this yet. LT found it interesting. It's from yesterday. And, again, let's listen in.
Well, y'all know this. I said, where's my damn statue down there in Tuscaloosa? I'm partly responsible for them 6 national championships. Imagine. The whole different dynamic. I didn't even get an invite. Go down there. But I mean, they hired, it's kind of even, obviously, Coach Saban and I are from the same area, same hometown, really, in West Virginia. But he's a lot older than me. No, he's not. He's a few years older than me, but I've told everybody, I said, when I see what coaches did, I mean, he's the greatest. I think he's the greatest football coach at any level, at any time. And I don't know if anybody would have been able to do that. I could think he'd gone down there and won, maybe a couple, but what he did is, I mean, it would be hard to replicate. But being in Alabama, where football is important, it's fun to coach. I think everybody wants to coach where football is important. There are places where you coach and then, when your players leave your building or they walk around town, football is just not as big a deal, whatever. And I wanted to be somewhere where football is important, and it is important here in Alabama. It's here important in Jacksonville. I know it's important in Tuscaloosa. So, but they got in, Greg Burnett. Well, y'all know this. I said, where's my damn statue?
So where's his damn statue?
I mean, if he takes the job, college football, the landscape is so different over the last 15 years.
You're really probably right. But, I mean, it's hard to remember this because he failed at Michigan and he failed at Arizona.
Oh, West Virginia they were power.
I mean, he was the top available college candidate at the time. Nick Saban was the NFL. I don't know. I'm not saying he was the best coach in college football, but I am saying he was the hot name to hire. So much so that Michigan hired him the very next year. Michigan, right? I mean, Alabama wanted him and Michigan wanted him. I think that says enough. Now, would he have been successful in Alabama? I don't think he would have been Nick Saban level successful.
He did casually say, maybe I'd only won 2 national.
He did say
Yeah,
that.
he did say that.
Only two national champions.
I mean, look, he was really close at West Virginia. If they beat Pittsburgh that night, they play for the national championship, which is really crazy. And those were good. I mean, those were fun teams to watch before offensive football is where it is right now in college football. Pat White and Steve Slayton in today's college football would slay it.
Would be unbelievable. And he was an innovator with that kind of offense. And he's got Jack State really good as they make the jump up and in Brown's top 25. But in all seriousness, they will contend for a conference championship if they were eligible. I guess they're not eligible.
Conference USA is where they're going. As UAB leaves Conference USA, Jack State is going in.
But a fun schedule for them. But, the whole butterfly effect of if Rich Rod takes a job, Nick doesn't do what he does, he probably goes somewhere else and probably is doing what he's doing, somewhere else, like at Texas or somewhere. But also that documentary that's coming out about the Florida Gators, Urban Meyer's is doing a lot of interviews now. And he did an interview last week, at the end of last week, talking about how he at one point did not think they had landed Tim Tebow. And if you are, if you're not of the belief that Tim Tebow was close to coming to Alabama, you should watch the documentary and listen to Urban Meyer. He tells the story that he and Doc Holliday they were about to go see a recruit, and Doc is getting on the plane with Urban, and Urban's like, hey, don't worry about Tebow. It looks like we're going to lose him to Alabama, but I've got a plan for us. And it was a JUCO quarterback they were going to go see.
I'd like to know who that quarterback is.
Me too.
Yeah,
and what
me
happened
too.
to him. Yeah. And he said Doc Holliday, who was Urban's assistant, replied to him, Urban, if we don't get Tim Tebow, it'll set the program back 10 years. It'll set the program back 10 years. And Urban says that sort of pissed him off that he thought that. But in reality, in hindsight, it probably would have. And, Urban thought they were going to lose him to Mike Shula in Alabama. If Tebow goes, I mean, you're talking about the way things work out in life. If Rich Rod stays, there's no Nick Saban. If Tebow goes, there may be no Nick Saban because it all timed out perfectly for Saban to leave the Dolphins and come to Alabama.
Still, as good as Tebow was, and I think you can make the argument the entirety of his career was the greatest college football player of all time. You can at least put it in the conversation. I still don't think that would have saved Shula.
There would have been a lot of buzz. There would have been a lot of buzz about them getting him.
But I also don't think Urban Meyer wins a national championship, even in that first year in 2006, without Tim Tebow.
The way he complimented Chris Leak. I would just tell you that if Tebow, he had enough cachet, even after his first year, he could have said to Mal Moore and to the people, if Shula goes, I goes. He can go full Hoosier. Coach stays, I stay. And that would have carried a lot of weight.
Yeah, I'm sure you talked to Mike Shula about this because you guys had a relationship, but that had to be probably the biggest letdown of his career because of how tight they seemed in that courtship and how close Alabama was to Tebow.
I will tell you that, and I've said this a couple of times on the air. I always like to preface that so people don't think I've forgotten what I've said on the air in 12 years. But I was hosting the Shula show back then, and we recorded on Sundays, unlike when I hosted the Nick Saban show and like they do now right after the games. So it was old school. I'd have to go back over there on Sundays, and it was an hour-long show, I think, and Mike wanted to see the highlights before we did the show. So we'd have to watch the highlight package, and he'd take some notes and all of that. Twice, the Tebow family stayed to watch the taping of the show. Twice in the locker room. We'd tape it in the team locker room. So they were still there, not on official visits, after visits. And one time, Jimmy get the team off the field at Neyland Stadium while coach is running a little late. He's still got to watch the film. The Tebow family comes down, and I don't know if he has a sister or not, but there was a girl traveling. Maybe it was Tim's girlfriend at the time, but it was mom, dad, Tim, and a girl. And they had not had any lunch yet. And Shula was like, well, we'll get you some lunch. And the Tebows were like, we'll just go over to what's the burger place?
Ramajamas?
Ramajamas.
Yeah.
We love the burgers and the milkshakes. And I was like, while Coach watches the highlight, I'll run and get them for you. So I ran and got burgers and shakes.
Wow.
For the T-Bones.
They got food poisoning.
God. We'll never come back here.
No, it was the early landmine. They ended up going to Florida.
Did you?
Weirdest delivery guy ever.
Did you think? I know you're probably optimistic about this being a Bama fan, but did you think Bama had him?
Well, yeah, because just being around Shula and their relationship. I think Tim Tebow really liked Mike Shula.
It would have been interesting because he would have probably started as a freshman at Alabama. I don't know, because it would have been Brody Croyle in 2005 when Alabama was a 10-2 team. I mean, they're a pretty good team that year.
Yeah, and Brody was probably better than Tebow his freshman year.
And then Brody would have graduated. You go on Tebow as a freshman. Now, that was a tough year for Alabama and got Shula fired eventually. But you wonder if it would have been different with all.
Who was the quarterback?
John Parker, right?
In 2006, as he was in 2007.
Yeah.
But I guess it was John Parker Wilson.
So
next time JP's on, let's
ask him if he was better than Tebow,
or if Tebow had come, if he'd have gone somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, because that is it. Because JP has a really good career and ends up playing in the NFL for a long time.
He does, but I mean, you talk about butterfly effect. 2 quarterback decisions that could have changed it all. If the Dolphins clear Drew Brees instead of going Dante Culpepper, you wonder. Saban didn't like the NFL. I don't know that with Saban that it was about wins and losses. I just think he didn't like the culture of the NFL, that he found how much it had changed since he had been with the Browns.
How about we do this in the noon hour? The 5 biggest butterfly effects in sports. Because there's some really good ones out there.
Okay, later in the show, remind me to bring that back up. Trash in our next segment, part of the show being brought to you this hour, always by our friends at Champy's. Champy's world-famous fried chicken right there, open for lunch now, Highway 119 in Alabaster. All that off of Rich Rod saying yesterday, where's my statues? I'm as much to do with it, jokingly, tongue-in-cheek, as Nick Saban. If he had taken that job, if Tebow had stayed, JPW, Tebow, Urban Meyer, all the connections off of 1 or 2 decisions that led to, at least at this point, the greatest dynasty in college football history. Also, the show being brought to you by our friends at MyBookie Brownie, getting you ready for tonight's game, but also the Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow. And while you're there, you can start looking at some future bets for the college football season, like Troy. You can do a win total on Troy at mybookie.ag.
You like Jon Sumrall like we do, go get that Troy win total right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up to get that sign-on deposit bonus up to $1,000. You heard me, right up to $1,000 at mybookie.ag. Play in the NHL, the Stanley Cup Finals, play the NBA Finals, still play Major League Baseball futures totals right there at mybookie.ag with your favorite teams there. The College World Series about to start as well. Listen, they make it as simple as they can. You bet, you win, they pay. That's it. You bet, you win, they pay. Whether you're a casual or you've been doing this for a long time, it doesn't really matter. MyBookie.ag is the place to go. Do not forget code next round at sign up at mybookie.ag to get that sign-up bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Are you faced with unexpected medical expenses? You want to update your backyard? Or you just want that dream vacation? Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Legacy Credit Union can help with lifestyle loans. Legacy lifestyle loans do not require collateral and they have affordable low rates. See more about Legacy Lifestyle Loans online at legacycreditunion.com or simply stop by one of the 9 branches in the greater Birmingham area. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State Map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store, that's nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Back to the Birmingham Racecourse Casino studio. Tell me if this is a good Bud Light poll question or not, Taylor. We'll decide if she wants to send it out. In the upcoming movie, Barbie movie, will there be an anatomically correct joke made in there? 100%?
Yeah, about the fact that we don't have parts?
Or when they leave the... When they leave
100%.
Barbie
That's easy
Land,
humor.
when they leave Barbie Land and go to the real world, maybe they do. Now they have parts, and maybe at some point.
What's the rating on this thing? Do you know, Rockstar?
PG-13.
PG-13.
Is it 13?
Oh, wow.
There's no way it's R.
No,
It's
I
gotta
knew it
be
was an
PG-13.
R. I was wondering if it's PG.
I was wondering how hard it would be to raise up to R.
That's a different.
Ooh, yeah, you can't do that.
You got to redesign Barbie's box then.
At that point, Barbie does Dallas. Is that what you're saying?
It might even just be PG.
Well, that's what I was asking. If it's PG-13, so yeah, you can make the anatomically correct jokes in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah. All right. So our Redmont I'm Not That Drunk moment of the day brought to you by our friends at Redmont Vodka, Redmont Distilling. Forrester's about to show us a video after LT tells us about Redmont, and I need some splaining done here.
Locally owned and operated. Again, Charles Barkley, one of the great faces behind Redmont Vodka. Their aim, clarity, and taste, color, and smell. It is vodka perfection. Redmont Vodka made from corn, which not only makes it gluten-free, also provides that smooth finish, no harsh aftertaste, 8 times distilled, available at your local package and ABC stores, including the Pink Package and Beverage Place. And prayers up for Joe out there. I'll give you guys information on that. But Redmont Vodka, pick some up.
Okay, so this is the Redmont Vodka I'm Not